people, I am live. I'm on my cell phone by choice this time because I want to review a video with you guys. And I think the way I did that the other day with the laptop to review the Race Baitem Tatum interviews. If you don't know yet, wait, why is this? Hold on. I don't know. What in the world are you doing? Okay, there, got it. Okay, so I got the Race Baitem Tatum thing all queued up to do part 3. It dropped today. And I got my smoothie. I'll give people a few minutes to come on in. I'm just going to get started right away because it's pretty long. It's like an hour, and I have a lot to say about it. I watched the majority of it. I got like over 3/4 of the way through it, I think. But I want to try to get through it as quickly as I can with you guys, but definitely have a ton of commentary, which again, you're required to do that for fair use also. But as long as my face is in the screen with the video, that helps too as far as abiding by their rules. So make sure you hit the like. We're going to get started in just a second. You know, I always have a fan on me when I'm live because I get all excited and I get heated up. And then the fan blows the little hairs into the nose. So I'm going to go off screen just because it's rude to be like rubbing your nose in the screen. I don't like the way that looks. I don't like when other people do it anyway, so I don't want to freak my people out. And let's just get started. Can you see my little subscribe, turn on your notification bell to ring, share a video of mine with somebody that you think would like my channel. The goal that I have right now is to get to 4,000 subs by the end of the month. Get back to 4,000 subs, should I say, because it'll be 4 years that I've had my channel. And I thought, you know, I got to 4,000 quickly, I think within the first 12 months. And then it started tapering back. You know, I was completely shadow banned. I had no idea what that even was. And, you know, I've never really sweated it. I bring it up because, of course, I want my channel to grow. Hello, Dukes Mills. What's up? How are you? Thanks for coming in and saying hi. What state are you in? I'm in Ohio. Nice to see you. And I don't recognize your handle, but maybe you've been in before. So I want to watch this video with you guys. I've got so much to say. I got a lot of notes. So this is almost an hour long. Let's try to get through most of it to start. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, and all my videos are made for the tube of you, and it's an infotainment platform. So let's see how this is going to work with putting this on my little makeshift table. It might not be quite the right height. I tried to get it set up. You are am. You probably meant I'm in Massachusetts, like you did voice to text or something. So let's see if that is, I think if I do like this, and yeah, I was going to do my screen, I was going to flip it sideways, but that gets very complicated. It's crazy. You're our children. Okay. Oh, you speak French. Nice. Awesome. Okay. So let's just go ahead and hit play. I have my mouse plugged in, so this is gonna be a little bit complicated.
Like I said, like lights up a room when he walks in it, but like no, I'm not joking. It's like an understatement. I mean, he's great, dude. Like most genuine guy I've ever met in my life. Nolan would always be at our house to stare. Like I said, like lights up a room. Because
okay, I think that's right where it begins. Can you see it pretty good? I hope. It's 2000. What's 2000? Let's see. –
Like I said, lights up a room when he walks in it. But like, no, I'm not joking. It's like an understatement. I mean, he's
I'm gonna
great.
turn it up.
Like, most genuine guy I've ever met in my life. Nolan would always be at our houses, stay at our houses, and for his parents to come out and say, "Oh, well, we don't know these boys." Well, then does that mean you don't know where your kid's staying at night? Because he was staying at our houses.
As far as the investigation is concerned, did you guys give your phones over to investigators? All right, we have Morgan, Jax, and Warren here. Now that I got you guys all here, what I want to do, and I want the audience to be able to have an opportunity to hear some of the things that have been put out there cleared up. You guys know better than anybody else what happened. I only had, from the perspective of Warren last time, and now that you guys are here, I want to get the full perspective.
Trying to make sure.
So that people can know what happened and they can judge for themselves. And the first thing I want to start with is your relationship with Nolan. What was y'all's relationship like? I'm sure, jump in however you feel, but there has been talks on social media that you guys are fake friends of Nolan. You weren't really his friend. Can you explain that to me and the audience?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what anyone says about my relationship with someone else. I know my relationship with Nolan. Nolan knew his relationship with me. I know who my best friend is, and he knew that too. I mean, he knew our relationship. But so basically, like, no one can tell me how I feel about someone or how someone felt about me, especially someone who's gone now. I mean, Nolan knew the relationship we had, but describing Nolan like that man was the funniest dude ever.
Always had a smile on his face.
Always.
I mean,
Like,
if you needed to laugh, I think Nolan would be the only person, one of the only people I would call.
Man, I ain't ever seen him like mad. Dude.
He was the peacemaker of our friend group. I mean, anytime anybody had beef over somebody, over a girl or whatever, he would go over there and start talking to him. He's like, man, I think this guy's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, this guy's
I don't think we should. I think we should become friends with this guy. Yeah. And lo and behold, we would somehow become friends with the dude, even though he's get with one of our other buddies' exes or whatever. But yeah, he was all.
Wait, what? What did he just say? Getting with one of our buddies' exes or whatever? Okay, do tell. What a weird example to just throw in there, huh?
Awesome.
Yeah, Nolan's great. Like,
He was
obviously,
awesome.
like most
Great
genuine
kid.
guy ever. Yeah, I mean, like I said, lights up a room when he walks in it. But like, no, I'm not
No
joking.
jokes.
It's like an understatement.
No jokes.
I mean, he's great, dude. Like, most genuine guy I've ever met in my life. And like, I know when people I know I've seen like when people pass a lot, everybody says good things, obviously. And, this isn't just me like being respectful to know him. Like, dude, that was like one of the best guys I've ever met.
I've only ever seen him mad.
I've only ever seen him mad. What? Was that the last thing you saw of him? It's interesting what he says here. These guys just don't know how to not dry snitch.
Once. Literally once. That's it. One time. And it was over something stupid. Yeah. But that was the only time.
Was it over a girl that was like an ex-girlfriend of your friends that somebody was dating? I don't know, maybe like him. I don't know. I mean, let's drop that topic, okay? Let's just let him talk.
Time I've ever seen him mad, and that he was always smiling or trying to figure out what we're doing that night or whatever. And then again, like, our relationship really started around, would you say, like...
It's really weird to hear young men saying our relationship with a dude. Seriously. And unless there's like some kind of erotic relationship, that's just not how dudes talk. I know. I've got a couple of young dudes myself, these exact ages. My sons are currently 19 and 22. They don't talk about their relationships with their friends.
Freshman year, high school? Like,
well, I was like a little closer with him before y'all because, like, obviously, like I told Brandon last time, like 8th grade COVID year is when Noah and I like really started hanging out, and then we all started hanging out going into high school. But Man, that dude's funny. Life of the party.
Life of
Had
the
so
party.
much fun.
No
Like, we
doubt.
had so much fun together. Like, even going up to, like, Starkville where Morgan goes to school and, like, just every...
Freshman
Oxford, like,
Destin.
it was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fun.
It's awesome.
Great.
And so people, well, there was a conversation that we had, Warren, last time about you not going or ever being at his house, and people took that as if you weren't his friend. Can you guys describe what engagement did you have with Nolan at his house, with his parents, him with your parents? Like, how did all that circulate?
Okay, well, like Jack said, like, he used to pick up Nolan every day. I used to pick up Nolan every day. My buddy Wyatt used to pick up Nolan. Like, literally would pick... We didn't make Nolan drive anywhere.
That's how much we loved him, bro. We just
that's
always wanted to be
like,
there.
that's how much, like, everybody knows this too. Like, Nolan didn't drive. Like, especially, at least in our friend group, because Nolan, we always pick Nolan up,
Yeah.
regardless of where it was. Like, literally on July 3rd, Nolan rode with me and, like, rode with me to Wyatt's because we had to get parts for a boat. But anyway, just for, you know, it's crazy that, like,
I'm not sure if he said parts for the remote or parts for the boat, but I find it kind of spooky. Like, what if they were getting articles that they were going to use maybe for, I don't know, like zip ties or something? What if they were having him come along while they're picking up things that they're going to use? It's just a thought. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that's what was happening, but I wonder.
I think it's kind of sad that, like, people, I have some friends of mine that I'm very, very close with, and I just don't know their parents. You know, we're grown men. You don't have to know someone's parents to be close with them.
Because why are you even mentioning that you stopped by to pick up these little things? Also, if you're grown men and you don't need to know somebody's parents to be friends with them, then why is your mommies coming out and batting for you on Facebook? Give me a freaking break. You're not grown men. I mean, you should be because you're over 18, but you're imbeciles.
And for if someone's, like, for, you know, them to come out and be like, oh, well, y'all aren't friends with somebody. Well, how are you going to tell me, like, my relationship with somebody else? You know, it's crazy. Like, they've said this all about us, like, oh, we're fake friends. Well, that's really horrible to say, because if you go look on every social media post
I won't call them fake friends. I'll call them frenemies.
on Nolan's Instagram or Facebook or anything else, the only people in it are us and his football guys. Like that.
Friends aren't going to be mocking their deceased friend's mother. You effing pigs. You effing pigs. You just give yourself away constantly.
It's just so real. Every time Nolan's in Starkville, he's with us. Every time Nolan's anywhere, not even just Starkville, but anywhere.
Oh yeah, we went on countless vacations and
Prom, homecoming, everything. Nolan's with us because we were his friends. It's not.
It's also called gang stalking. Remember, he was away at a different college the entire last year. He was 2.5 hours away at his community college. I'm not sure where these guys were, but Nolan was out of Ocean Springs probably for the first time in his life. I'm pretty sure he was born and raised there.
Not that
Because his mother was born and raised there.
hard to understand. I mean, I don't have to prove this to anybody, but that's the truth. I don't have to prove my friendship, and these guys feel the same way. We don't have to prove our friendship with Nolan, but I agree. Right.
Yeah, so was Nolan around your family then?
No, you actually do need to prove your friendship if you're claiming something that nobody's buying because his friends knew who he was friends with. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert. Towards the end, about 3/4 of the way through, it's explosive. They tell a story that I'd never heard anything about, and that was the first confrontation, which happened the night of July 4th at about midnight when Nolan's friends barged into Jax's house to find out what the F was going on with their friend because they saw Nolan's mom's posts on Facebook. And it was It was a scene. It was a scene. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah. Nolan was always around our houses. I mean, I can even say this. Nolan and Wyatt's dad had a secret friendship that we weren't even in.
Yeah, they were like best friends.
We would go over to Wyatt's house, and Nolan, we would all be in the backyard, whatever, doing something, and Nolan would be inside on the couch with Wyatt's dad, and they would just be cutting it up all night.
Yeah,
all
watching movies together. Like
Scarface is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
They'd watch Scarface.
All the time.
And it really shows you like the effect like all this has had on everybody, not including just our friend group, but like our friends' parents and my parents. Like our friends were really, and families.
Also, Wyatt's dad is a doctor and Nolan's mom is a nurse. And I'm not sure if they work at the same place, but it could be that there was some cross-pollination there, that when he was little, his mom took him to work with her once, and he met Wyatt's dad, who was a doctor or something. I don't know, but that's great. That's great that your dad had a secret friendship with him.
We're really close with Nolan, and I mean, this has been a horrible tragedy, not just for us, but for our families and friends too. My mom knew Nolan because she used to drive us from Waffle House to school once a week. My stepdad knew Nolan because he used to drive us. My dad, everybody, like,
And he would always come to the house, too, all the time.
And not just that, but like I'm talking about like from a young age, like from 8th grade. But Nolan would always be at our houses, stay at our houses. If for his parents to come out and say, "Oh, well, we don't know these boys," well, then does that mean you don't know where your kid's staying at night? Because he was staying at our houses.
Because we held him captive at our house on the 3rd of July and you didn't know? So does that make you a bad parent? I mean, boys don't do effing sleepovers, you fools. Boys, young men, 19, aren't doing sleepovers. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's just not a thing. I mean, sure, anything's possible. But talk to a bunch of dudes that age and see how many of them have sleepovers. If they were having a sleepover, it would be with a girlfriend, would be my guess. Come on.
So,
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're enjoying this incredible interview. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and also join our membership program. Let's get back to the interview.
Yes,
Take me
please.
to that day on the 4th. Based on what I know from the interview we had and some of the things that Nolan had spent the night and then at your house, and then you guys got up, you went out. Was this the first time you guys went to Horn Island, or you guys used to do this every year? Or?
So we've probably been to Horn Island this year alone 3 times with Nolan. And then the previous year,
I looked something up that I'd been wondering about. I was wondering, are people allowed to be on Horn Island after dark and then boat in to the mainland in the dark? Because maybe they're not. Maybe they have to vacate unless they're camping out. But no, people go to Horn Island to watch the fireworks from Horn Island. A bunch of people bring their own fireworks, and then they can see all the fireworks on the mainland. That's what you do on Horn Island. So you stay way after dark. You don't go leaving at 5 and 6 o'clock.
we went to Horn Island. Nolan was with us out there then. And every time we go out to Horn Island, usually Nolan's with us. And every single year for the 4th of July when we go out there, Nolan's with us. I mean, this is a...
Oh, all of a sudden, every single year for the 4th of July, this is the most common routine thing. We've been taking them out to the Horn Island with us since we were babies. These guys, keep talking.
tradition. I mean, everybody waits all year for Horn Island, 4th of July. Like, that is the place to be. That is a party all day, and it is literally right up all of our alleys. Like, that's what we want to do all day. Like, that's the funnest day of the year. And
when I lived in Southern California on the beach, the 4th of July was absolutely my favorite holiday. But it was all about the fireworks after dark. It wasn't about anything during the day.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan was with us 2 weeks prior to the 4th of July at Horn Island with no one out there. If we had any intention to hurt Nolan at the island, why would we do it on the 4th of July with thousands of people out there? I mean, it's pretty clear. We literally all went out there for my buddy's birthday, and Nolan was with a whole group of people.
Let me just answer that theoretical question that he just asked. And this is really twisted, and it seems pretty far-fetched, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not personally familiar with the culture in Mississippi, but from the reputation that state has had, there's a lot of people who would have no trouble watching a bunch of white people do that to a young black child or young man. Absolutely. And it's the 4th of July, it's the 250th, and there's a lot of racists that would be their idea of celebrating. So that's how I want to answer that. It's entirely possible that people saw, and it's not that it was irrelevant to them. It was like, go fight, 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 to quote one douchebag.
Like we were with on the 4th. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah, it was on like a Wednesday.
It's not like
Nobody was out
it's
there,
not like
yeah.
this is just like a random like occasion. No,
We've got
we do
this
this all the time.
yeah.
And not even just Horn Island, but no one's on the boat with us all the time. We all go on the boat. We all do things together like this. So
I want to get to some pointed questions about the phone situation, because I think last time, Warren, when you and I talked or spoke, you weren't at the house when the phone was recovered. So I want to figure this out. Explain to me, because a lot of people are still online saying that they find it to be incredibly suspicious that Nolan left his phone. Can you explain, did Nolan ask you for his phone back when you guys were leaving? Was it not a part of the conversation? Was Nolan the only person that left his phone on the boat? Can you guys walk me through that? Idea.
So I can go ahead first and say, nobody has their phone in the water. When you jump in a pool, do you have your phone? Like, no, you don't. You're not going to bring your electronic in the water. So what everybody does is they stick their phones on the dash of the boat and they forget about it because you don't have good service.
I think it's funny the way he just goes on and on and on explaining. Like, there, you answered the question. Like, let's move on in the conversation. There's a lot more territory to cover.
You can't even send a picture through from Horn Island to like somebody else. And so they put it on the phone. And even as teenagers, we don't really get on them. We go out there and we conversate and we see a bunch of people that we usually don't see on a day-to-day basis, that we graduated high school with, guys that graduated before us. You know, it's a big meeting, like seeing all your friends that you haven't seen in a while. And so whenever we were coming back in, he didn't even think about grabbing his phone. He never asked about his phone, along with 5 other people that also left their phones on the boat.
Oh, 5 other phones. Wow, okay. Of course, the 4th of July holiday is typically a big reunion day everywhere because people return to see their families and then they see people that they grew up with. Like, that's kind of an all-American thing as far as I know. It's not special to their little town there. That's like universal.
Boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick him up, including Javon. I mean, Javon left his phone on our boat.
Yeah, Javon is one of the guys in the friend group.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Javon's a friend of mine, friend of ours. Like, not as tight as Nolan.
Right. No, we barely know Javon. We just made friends with him to worm our way into Nolan's life, is my opinion.
Javon's in the class under me in school, and he's a friend of mine. But just like a lot of our other friends, Javon's our friend. He left the phone on the boat because we're trustworthy people. We're not going to steal something. We're not going to
delete your messages and photographs and all the incriminating evidence. We would never do that. Yeah. Of course, people don't think about folks that they know stealing their phone and going through it. Like, most people have a security passcode on their phone. And they're not thinking anybody except maybe a complete stranger crackhead is going to steal their phone. I mean, in the world that I live in, if you find somebody's cell phone, you try to get it back to them. I had a interesting story like that a few years ago, but I'll tell that at another time. But I found somebody's phone that had been run over, and I got it back to them. I mean, and if it hadn't been ran over, I'm still going to get it back to them. I'm not going to like try to sell it. I know a lot of people would try to sell it because they might be hard up for cash, but it's just like protocol. You know, I left my phone in a store recently, and I ran back in the store, and somebody had already turned it into the front, the cashier. And I thought somebody could run off with my phone. It's an iPhone. It might be worth $1,000. I don't know. It's like a iPhone 16. Anyway.
Delete pictures off of someone's phone. We're not going to delete text messages. We're not going to get on anyone's phone because we have no reason to. But Javon left his phone. And we gave Javon his phone back along with everybody else who left their phone on the boat. So
Yeah, we'll get to that because I think I have the timeline in my mind. So you guys, the boat is taking in water.
Let me just say your timeline's got holes in it, buddy, but go on.
You guys, you had already left, Morgan, right? You had already left on a boat. So there's 3 boats. You had already left about 5 minutes before this situation happened. The last 2 boats was Bart's boat and Wyatt's boat, and those are the 2 boats that left out because
They're leaving a boat out. There's 4 boats. We're going to go over that afterwards.
Bart was kind of towing Wyatt's boat out. So you guys are on the boat. What was the conversation with Nolan? Because Nolan obviously had come in on Wyatt's boat. You guys are all getting ready to leave. So what was the communication like with Nolan?
So, actually, Wyatt was saying, told Nolan, because Nolan's with this girl at this point. They're together.
So why did he have his hands in his pockets, and then why does he take them out of his pockets when he says this thing about this girl? Now, what is he doing? Sitting on his hands?
Wyatt looked at Nolan. He was like,
Did you catch that deep breath? That's weird. I'm not no body expert, but that signals stress to me. He's stressed out. He's gonna see if he can tell this story, if he can spin this yarn.
like, dude, come on, boat's taking on water, we gotta go, like right now. And Nolan didn't want to go. He said he wanted to stay with the girl. And Wyatt started yelling at me. He's like, Nolan, get on the boat now.
And again, I lived on a boat once for, I think, about 6 months. You're not going to go out into the deep water 10 miles to the mainland when you're on dry land and you have 1,000 people around you. You're gonna fix that boat before you freaking take off, you morons. Your story's not adding up, along with your timeline. Go on.
And Nolan's like, no. And then finally, Wyatt's like, Nolan, get on the effing boat right now. We are leaving right now. And Nolan said he had another ride back, and we had no more time to waste. We got to get the boat out of there before it goes under.
And it was that when Nolan said
It was at dry land at this point. It was at dry land.
that, like, was there an issue? Did you believe that Nolan would be able to get back, or were you concerned?
So what I can say is I've been out countless times on one boat to Horn Island and came back on another. I've done it before where I went out on one boat and my friends left, and I just know so many people out there. I didn't even think about, do I have a ride already set up? I just know so many people out there that I'm like, okay, there's 100% sure I can find a ride back, and which I have before, you know?
There's absolutely a culture on Horn Island that everybody makes sure that everybody else gets home. I got to plug my phone in. Hold on 1 second. It just is letting me know that it's got down to 20%. But not to worry. As long as I don't knock anything over, I have everything I need nearby. I just hadn't thought of that. So if I knock something over, it's going to be a disaster. So let me move slowly and carefully. And let's see. Very slowly, very carefully, because there's a cord right here. And I could really screw everything up with that cord. Okay. So where is the plug-in for the phone? Is right here. Again, like I said, not to worry, not to worry. We got this. I wonder if I should plug in the laptop too while I'm at it. Okay, I might move the frame slightly as I'm plugging in, since I'm on the other side and can't really see. But situation should be resolved at this point. I'm not going to worry about plugging in the laptop because I think that that has plenty of juice. But if it becomes an issue, I will then plug it in because I know I have the plug somewhere handy. Right? Right? Okay. Super, super careful. I'm sliding in. This damn cord. There's so many freaking cords. It's hilarious. Okay, here we go. So, phone is plugged in. Let me make sure it's all the way plugged in because now it's down to 18%. I forgot how lives just like suck your battery down because it was at 100. Okay, but the laptop is not alive, so it should be fine. So let's see. Continue.
And it's one of those things where it's at Horn Island, you don't even have to know somebody to ask for a ride back in. They're going to bring you in. You know, it's not like, oh, are they going to bring me in? Or
like I said, that's absolutely true. I have a friend who grew up down there in that area. She's been out to Horn Island maybe 1,000 times. She said nobody would ever leave on their boat seeing somebody on the island without a boat. It's absolutely true. Everybody is looking after everybody.
or they're not sure to ask. No, if you ask anybody out there, 100%, they'll bring you back.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
You're
the
in South
boating-
Mississippi.
I mean, we had somebody.
The boating community is so like tight.
And of course, that's the culture. Come on. Have you ever been to Alaska? It's like that in Alaska too. And that's not Southern hospitality. It's just that when it's a situation of survival, people take care of each other. Unless they're dark, evil pricks.
Like, it doesn't matter like who you are. If someone sees you struggling on the island, no matter the case, they will come and help you. They will do anything in their power to help you and bring you back to the mainland.
I'll put another example out there. We know another kid.
Okay, these are white kids, okay? If you were struggling and you were not white, I'd say that might be questionable.
Who was pretty intoxicated out there, and he couldn't find his boat. And he asked somebody random that he didn't even know if he could catch a ride back with them. And they were like, yeah, got him on the boat, called his parents, told them the situation was going on, and then took him back on inshore.
And that happened this time, or is
4th of July.
This
4th of July.
This current 4th.
So you guys you leave. Nolan is there. I'm based on what you're telling me. I'm perceiving that you guys are accepting that Nolan's going to get a ride back somewhere else. Y'all taking on water. Explain to the audience.
So they dropped the part of the story about how he was drunk, you know, because then they were getting a lot of heat. Like, you left your drunk friend without a ride. So they cleaned that part up. Now he wasn't drunk. He was sober.
What is this sinking boat thing like? Because I think that people are in good faith, the ones who are acting in good faith, are genuinely curious of like, are you sinking? Do you think you're gonna sink? Because you hear Wyatt on the phone and he's like, we're sinking, we're going down. And obviously it never went down. So can you explain
that bizarre CATooZ call that makes no sense at all, please?
what he was saying about going down? Was there a little bit of water? Was he just panicking more?
Because that CATooZ call, even without the background noise, is the linchpin for them.
than the normal, or like what was that? And I want you to explain too, like what happened to the boat? How did you recover the boat? And how did you get back to the mainland?
So I'm gonna go ahead and first off explain a boat. So a bilge pump is in the bilge. The bilge is underneath the deck where you stand, and
So they waste so much time talking about this stuff. Like, sure, okay, that's reasonable to explain what's going on. But what we really want to talk about is what the F happened to Nolan. So they're sitting here for an hour. They've already sat here for an hour prior with those 2 other interviews.
the very bottom of the boat. And there's a space in there where you have all your electronics, your batteries, everything that controls
Could you just please mansplain everything away so we can just get on with our lives and forget about Nolan?
everything throughout the whole boat. So the first thing that fills up on a boat when it starts to sink is the bilge. And it goes in the bilge and it starts filling up. Well, then the bilge pump kicks on, senses the water automatically, and starts pumping it out. In this situation, the bilge pump had a malfunction. It didn't kick on, and it got all the way to the very top of the bilge, which is the floor level. And then we started to see the boat actually sag down in the water, and we're like, okay, what's going on?
And you haven't left Horn Island yet, so you would resolve the issue before going into deep water.
So there's a cap in the back of the boat that you can unscrew and look inside the bilge. When you unscrewed it, there's so much water in the boat, it started overflowing onto the deck. And so at this point, we're like, okay, this boat's going down. It's going down quick. We don't know where the water's coming in from. We don't know what's going on, and we just go into full-on like panic mode. Get this thing out of here now. So we hook up the boats.
No, call CASHAPP.
Okay.
Let's get to that part.
Oh, wait, yeah, you forgot this other big part of your lie. The main part? Yeah, let's get to that part.
Because you called CASHAPP first?
No,
Or you had the boats hooked up first?
We had the boats hooked up first.
Yeah. Okay.
So we hook up the boats and we start towing them out. He's on the phone with CASHAPP. Because, hold on, let me go back a second.
Wait, so you're towing more than one boat out? We're towing them out.
The electronics completely glitched out. Nothing is working on the boat. There's so much water in there. Nothing is working.
I just got to interrupt him here. He's glitching out.
The batteries are also
The batteries were completely underwater. Like yeah. Everything's fried, basically. So we have it connected.
And let me just add, your goose is cooked, mofo.
Kind of towing them out.
Go on.
And he's on the phone with CASHAPP, and he's trying to get them on the phone. And as he stated in the moment, he's like, CASHAPP's just asking all these dumb questions. I can't figure out what's going on. And so,
Dumb questions? Like, we're gonna come save your life and your boat, so we need to ask you some dumb questions? Wow.
it finally hangs up, and after the trim to the motor started to work again. So they manually trim it down by the buttons on the motor, trimmed it down, and some electronics started to come back on, and they got the boat to crank over, and they're like, all right, untie us, because if you can get a boat on plane, the suction of the water going underneath it will actually pull all the water out of the bilge if you have the plug out. So like, say you have the plug out and it's sitting, the boat will sink. If you have the plug out and you're running, all the water will rush out the back of the boat.
When you say on plane, you mean like it has to be going fast enough to be up
out
on
of
top
the water.
of the water?
Yep.
Or
So
something like
on
that?
plane is you're up, you're running, you're out of the water basically. There's
your bows on plane.
yeah, so you're up out of the water running.
Yep.
So where are you guys at when this happens? As far as from Horn Island to the mainland, where are you guys at in between there?
So we're probably a mile and a half off of Horn, I'd say, a mile off
Well,
Horn.
from the start where the CASHAPP call was, we were probably about a quarter mile
Yeah.
off the island. Like you could see, it's visible in the picture that you posted that Wyatt is on the CASHAPP call.
The picture that you don't have any of the metadata for, we're going to talk more about that too. No metadata. Zilch.
And it's that video of the boat panning, of the video of the boat getting panned, and you can see everybody in the boat. If you look in the background, the island's right there. So, I mean, going back to like what you said earlier, if we killed somebody or hurt somebody, the whole island is literally not even a quarter of a mile away to sea, with hundreds of boats lined up on the island. So that's really all I had to say about that.
And they might have been really looking forward to seeing something like that. That's what I'm saying, is that could be a thing in Mississippi. You can't put it past these folks. Sorry, not sorry. The way they've been treating the Wells Wansley family, not just these boys, not just these douchebags, their parents, and the entire freaking town. Trying to trash Nolan's mother's profession, her professional career.
Yeah. So we
were about a quarter mile out.
So we were about a quarter mile out, whatever. So they pull the plug out the back of the boat. They have the motor running and everything like that. And they go to take off. So the boat's having trouble trying to get up, and it's slowly coming up because the weight of the water. Finally, it planes off, and the water gets sucked out the back, and they're full speed running.
Let me just say, too, that nobody's going to be on the boat while they're doing all this. You know, in this fake photo, what I think is a fake photo, they call it a video. It's 3 seconds long, which is exactly how long a live photograph is when you take it with your cell phone. It's exactly 3 seconds. It wasn't taken that day, and it wasn't. If it was, they would show the metadata. They keep saying, oh yeah, we'll show the metadata. They haven't shown it, okay?
And then after that, I didn't see them anymore. I think you were on the boat. You start from there.
Yeah, so
okay,
after we planed off,
he did his part and he's freaking out. He can't talk anymore. I think his heart is like beating outside of his chest, maybe even outside his t-shirt now. So he's like, okay, I'm done. Could take over, please. Here you go.
Wyatt kept the boat pinned the whole way in. We ran into the mouth of Fort Bayou.
And he just sounds a little too chill. A little too chill. Because he's trying to like take that relay baton and keep things mellow.
Where we came from originally, and we turned into Fort Bayou, went in the channel, ran probably 500, 600 yards into Fort Bayou.
They never spoke about Fort Bayou until people started requesting. You can just like go online and see the GPS. You don't even have to request it. You can see the GPS from any boat. You just type in the name of the boat in the place.
Wyatt had jumped out of the boat, put the plug back in the boat so access water. So water didn't keep pushing and filling the boat.
Again, he's getting really nervous, and they're just trying to fill the air with a bunch of words to make it look like they're sitting down having a conversation, all open and honest about it all.
Up. So then we turned around, and Wyatt brought the boat to the dock, and that's when I had gotten out and got back in the car. And I didn't.
The suspicion might be, one suspicion is that they went into the bayou to unload the cargo, if you catch my drift. They never mentioned going into the bayou until people online started saying, hey, what was this about going into the bayou? You never said anything about going into the bayou. So now they're trying to mansplain how they just went in there real quick.
I didn't even drive. A buddy of mine drove me, and we went back to Jax's house.
Jax's house. Okay, so
this is Jax.
I just want to make this very clear, abundantly clear for the audience.
That's Jax.
Are you saying that the video that I posted, which is
okay, the video that he posted that's 3 seconds, because it's not a video, it's a live photograph, right? We all know what those are with their phones. They're exactly 3 seconds long.
It's like a 3 second loop. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a lot more of the video, but
Right.
to not
Oh, really? How long is the video?
expose people that have nothing to do with this.
Right, right.
I only posted the smaller part, the three.
Yeah, because I was trying to protect everybody's privacy, you know. This guy makes me want to vomit. He's such a piece of crap.
3-second part. Are you saying during that time, a portion of that, Wyatt was on the phone with Cito, so a portion of that is the Cito call, and that Nolan is not on that boat?
Correct.
And that video,
There's 4 boats, okay? I actually think he is on that boat. You've probably seen where it looks like a hand or foot comes up from the deck. But if he wasn't on that boat, he could have been on one of the other boats. But this whole thing, they keep saying that it's 3 boats, but it's 4. There's boat number 1, boat number 2, boat number 3, and boat X. And we'll talk more about that afterwards.
that's out there is a representation of who was on the boat during that Cito call.
Correct.
So I want to jump back to something real quick, because I was on the island and the reception was bad. I left my phone on the boat when I got out and went in the water.
Okay, this is really disgusting. He starts talking about what a great time he had out on the island. Now, why is it's saying that the phone is now 10% when it should be, oh, because it wasn't plugged in all the way. Let's see, it should be fine now. Okay. He starts talking about playing Nolan's favorite songs. It's disgusting. This man is a despicable piece of crap.
But people are saying online that how can you make a Cito call if the reception is so bad on the island? Because before you said the reception wasn't really good enough to even send a picture message to somebody else. So how is this call being made if the reception is not as good?
I mean, if you listen to the call back, listen to the call back. I mean, there's areas in the call where it's splotchy. It's not direct. Like, it's not like you're sitting for me to.
I actually don't think that that call's splotchy. I think that that's Wyatt being squirrely, not answering the questions. He doesn't know what to tell them about how many people are on the boat. He doesn't know what to tell them about how deep the water is that they're in. He doesn't know what to tell them about how much water is in the boat. He doesn't know what to tell them because he's lying.
To you, talking to the person on the phone. I mean, you're obviously out on the water. I mean, you can hear it in the Cito call.
And so when it comes to the reception, because I didn't look at my phone one time on the way out to Horn Island. I mean, it was a beautiful ride.
Of course.
Well, and you probably should have, since you were going out there for this explicit purpose, you douche.
You're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking. I'm looking at how beautiful this was.
Now he's like, I was just hanging out. I'm just having a day on the boat at the beach. No, you weren't. You were out there allegedly doing a death investigation because, you know, you're a fake not officer.
Water is. We were having fun on the boat. We were playing music, some of Nolan's favorite songs.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't thinking about my
disgusting.
phone, so I wasn't checking reception. Now, is the reception recover at some point between Horn and the mainland? Or is it terrible reception while you're over the water until you get to the mainland?
I mean, there's
As soon as you get off the island coming in shore,
Yeah,
you
but there's
start
really
picking up
like
reception
no
again.
definite way to tell where the reception comes in because I mean it's all satellite. I mean,
Yeah.
the
If it's satellite, then it's not going to be a problem. If it's a cell phone tower, then yeah, that happens.
it's different I've gotten service 80 miles offshore, like off of a satellite coming to a oil rig. Yeah, and I
You just blew your cover, mofo.
connected to it from the rig, but like.
It just depends.
I could go to Horn Island and not have any service. I could go there and have service. I mean, I think it's
If I turn my phone off, I have no service.
truly different, like every time.
So is it fair to say the service on Horn Island is super spotty?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just almost by chance, in part, that the call was successful to call Cito. Okay.
Yeah.
Partly, yeah.
And I want to
Partly.
get to that picture. Because I think a lot of people are confused about the picture. You guys cleared this up for me last time I came, but I want the world to kind of hear this because I don't think I addressed it last time me and you, Warren, was on the interview. People are saying, and this is how the picture went viral, that the people pictured in...
He does this a lot with his hands. It's almost like Donnie's accordion hands, but it's more like, I don't know, he's feeling somebody up. But also he like spreads his arms out so it's like a wide wingspan. Like it's very much like a bird fluffing their feathers. And I think just trying to control the room.
The photo were the ones that went on the boat with Nolan and came back. Can you explain that? Because I don't think everybody that was in that picture even went to Horn Island on the same boat as Nolan.
So I can say whenever we all got out there,
Hold on, before you get there, because I think this will address another issue that people have of saying, well, why are they taking pictures if the reception is bad? Can you point out where this picture took
Can you cover the other lies too, please?
place? What is going on with this infamous picture now?
Yep. So whenever we got there,
Whenever. Whatever.
like I said, I wasn't even on the same boat as Nolan. We pull our boat in. Nolan, their boat pulls in or whatever. I get out in the water. I walk over to Nolan's boat, and I'm talking to Nolan for a little bit, whatever. And I put my phone up on the dash. Nolan puts his up there. As Nolan's putting his phone on the dash, he sees an actual little camera that one of the girls that came on the boat brought. And his first word...
Right, because people have actual cameras these days because we don't all have cell phones with us constantly that take photos and videos. Next thing you know, they're going to say they had like a, what are those damn things called? I can't even think of it. Like the VHS, you know, the old movie cams that we used to use in the olden days.
Words was, he picks up the camera and he goes, "We got to take a picture." Just like that. And in my mind, I'm like, heck yeah, like let's take this picture. So that's where you got me and Nolan and one picture. And then as we're taking that picture, Morgan and another buddy of ours come up and they're like, all right, like let's take a picture all together.
The other buddy is Eric. He spells his name E-R-I-C-K, and his last name is not Altoona, but it's something like that. One of the content creators calls him Alcatraz because he's convinced he's going to be going to prison. Anyway, Eric is the guy with the long brown hair who's a little bit heavier set than the rest of them and a little bit shorter than the rest of them. And he's in that main photograph that circulated early on with the four of them, you know, with the necklaces. And Eric is wearing a cross in some of those pictures that circulated and not in others that are the same picture that circulated. So that is like photoshopped. You know, it's the ones where Nolan's wearing the red beaded necklace, Eric's wearing a white beaded necklace, and sometimes a cross and sometimes not the cross. And then Jax is on the other side of Nolan, and that's the guy that's in the middle right here. Right there in the blue shirt or gray or whatever. And then this guy, Morgan, is on the other side of Jax. So Warren is not in that picture. Maybe he's the one that took the picture. I don't know. I don't know that it's a real picture. I've seen a bunch of different versions of it that make it look like it's AI. Because why is Eric sometimes wearing a cross and sometimes in the same picture not wearing the cross? That's odd. So these two on either side of Jax, they're half brothers. So Warren Hudson's father is the Dr. Ben Hudson, and then his stepmom is this guy's mom, Morgan Seymour, and his mother is Katie Seymour, who, or wait. Yeah. That put up that post. Right? It's so confusing. Now I think I'm losing my mind because Ashley Cole, Judge Ashley Cole. Oh yeah, Judge Ashley Cole is their stepmom. Okay, so Katie Seymour is this guy's biological mother. This guy's biological mother. No. This guy. No, this guy. Why am I so confused? I got to go back and look at it. So anyway, you got Judge Ashley Cole, who is definitely Warren's stepmom. Definitely married to Dr. Ben Hudson. There's several doctors involved. So Jax's dad is a doctor. He's a pharmacist, and his mother's a pharmacist too at the same place that they own. And then the other doctor, hold on a second. We haven't talked about the main man of the whole story, which is Bart. Okay, Bart Edmiston. His mother is a physical therapist, and then his dad, Bart Edmiston Sr., is the head of the anesthesiology at the same hospital, I think, that Nolan's mother works at, and that's in Biloxi. It's like Memorial Hospital. And then there's another hospital that Warren's dad works at. So, sorry, it's getting late. My brain is getting a little bit fried. There's so much going on with this case, but we're almost done with this. So, and then I can look at my notes and try to clear my brain up. And yes, my phone is charging now.
Together of us on the front of the boat, we're like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So we got on the front of the boat, and that's where that picture is taken.
So that was it taken from a phone or
no, like an actual
like a
little camera.
Okay. And was it taken from where you docked at, or was it taken out there at Horn Island?
It was taken out at Horn Island.
Okay. So, but what?
Okay, so they're trying to say this is why the phone doesn't have any metadata, because it was taken with an actual camera. Wow. No, it's AI, baby. It's AI.
On the phone.
No.
Hey, I want to clear this up too, because I'm not aware of this. You guys may obviously have more information. Were people uploading? I know we talked about the service issue, but were people uploading onto social media?
I mean, you could.
Not really, though.
You could be.
Realistically, you could.
You could. If you would.
Yeah, you couldn't make a phone call, but you could upload onto social media. Sure, Jan.
If you're motivated enough to do it, yeah. Like, I made a phone call to my mom, and I had to call her like 8 times before she picked up, because either her service was bad, she was on
Maybe it's because she hates you and she didn't want to talk to you. She's just like, quit hassling me. You're a bunch of trouble. What are you doing? You're out killing your freaking friend, and then I have to like throw myself under the train to try to save your hiney.
back side of the aisle on the south side, or my service was bad, and it was just hard to get through. But like, if I went and posted a video on Snapchat, like, honestly, I don't think it would like either post or send to somebody. I think, I sent my buddy where we were at, a buddy of mine. I was like, hey, come meet us, and I sent him a video, and he was like, dude, I couldn't get a hold of you all day. And like, that explains the point. Like, I sent him a video where we were at, and it never sent until I got inshore, because I had no service.
If that did happen, he might have forgotten to hit send. I mean, we've all done that, right? Everything I say is simply my opinion about these freaking freaks.
Would it shock you? Because Christine Wales, Nolan's mother, went online. She was very shocked that she said Nolan didn't have any Snapchats or something. I'm assuming that whole day. Is that shocking to you if he did or did not have photos or videos or stuff uploaded to social?
You're invited to join Phoenix Energy's next webinar, where you can drill deeper into our bond offerings. We currently offer 2 investment opportunities. A private placement bond offering for accredited investors.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because
I mean,
like we said, we've been out there many times before, and nobody's on their phone out there. First off, and then second off, if you want to take Snapchats and stuff like that, you can, but you're just really going to have to save them to your camera roll and upload.
But wait, we have a photograph of Wyatt on the phone. He's the only one that's ever been on a phone out there.
Put them back whenever you get insured, because when you go to send it, it's just going to have an error.
And most guys, when they're out on the island all day, they're really not thinking about posting something on their Snapchat story.
Yeah, and most guys don't have sleepovers and they don't talk about their relationships with their friends.
So the phone was taken on like a camera that's not a phone.
Yeah.
Now, how did that get to you guys, and how did that ended up getting to the internet?
So whenever we first realized that Nolan didn't, I'm not gonna say he didn't. When we first realized we don't know where Nolan's at, the first
Yeah, revise that statement before you say it, dude. You were just about to sound really bad. That's great. That's good. Keep talking.
thing we were trying to figure out, or his mom was, what was he wearing? And so we were trying to remember what color his shorts were. We couldn't quite figure that
I
out.
said black.
Yeah, I think we said
Because
black.
I really did. He was wearing navy blue shorts.
Yeah, it was like dark blue
So
shorts.
dark, and I just said black because I was trying to piece everything together and help out.
And so at this point,
I was trying to help out, so I said the wrong color. You could just say, I don't remember what color his shorts were. He's wearing swim trunks.
we're freaking out. We don't know where our friend's at. And the girl that took the picture, she was like, okay, well, I just took this picture of today. This is what color swim trunks he was wearing. And his mom asked for that to post on Facebook to say, if you've seen them, whatever, this is what.
But how did she get it to the mom? I mean, I know you can take a photograph of a picture with your phone and then send it, but he's not even, he's just leaving some holes in his story.
He was wearing. And so that's what we sent to her, or that's what she sent to her, because we were just trying to help, you know?
Man, he sounds so nervous. So yeah, that's what we sent to her. That's what we sent to her. We're just trying to help.
We weren't trying to cover up anything. We want to know where our friend was just as bad as everybody else does. I mean, that was our boy. We want to know.
Our boy? That's such a derogatory term in the South. Like, that's what white people call black people in the South.
Worse than everybody else does. And so that's how that picture came about.
And I want to get to the phone situation of Miss Christine or Miss Wells said
That's almost as bad as the N-word, as far as I know.
it online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now, I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all
Right.
that. So how did this happen? Because
So why did it take 15 minutes for you to gather up the phone? Okay, he's about to say, yeah, well, I told her that I had his phone, which, okay, good.
last time we talked, you said you told, and I will call her Miss Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what.
So-
did you tell her you had the phone? And when
So
did you tell
wait,
her you had the phone?
Wait,
if you did?
Okay.
Why were you surprised then when she showed up with her friend to gather the phone? I think Christine was in the car and she just couldn't imagine dealing with these people in real life because she already had to deal with them over the phone and it wasn't sitting right. She might not have been in the car though. She might have stayed home because she was a train wreck and trying to do a bunch of different things. But it was her best friend. It was Javon's mother that went to the door. I think Christine was in the car.
So first, we'll start off with, what I have to say, and then Jax, but then if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call and anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here,
Let me just say, if he had guilty knowledge and he withheld that information, this can seriously be considered stalking and harassing the mother of the victim. To call her and say, oh, your son's missing. I know what happened to him. This will pile on the freaking charges.
Pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this. She knew for a fact that we had his phone. And she knew that
Again, why would anybody be surprised then when somebody shows up at the front door to gather the effing phone? You little effer.
I told her, I said, yeah, he left it on the boat with us. Like, a bunch of people did. And so I want to make that very clear that I told Miss Christine there was no reason to hide anything. There was no issue regarding the cell.
Like I said, if he called her and was withholding knowledge, he can get additional charges for stalking, harassing, badgering. The list is endless. Imagine how twisted that is.
Phone. She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up, and that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told Miss Christine, one of the first things I told her was, we have Nolan's phone, and that's where that ends. There was no issues with the phone or the keys, so I wanted to make that clear.
So was the keys on the boat with the phone?
No, the
Okay.
keys were
They're at my house.
at Jax's house because we all stayed there the night before. I'm sure if I would have left my truck at Jax's house, I would have left my keys there too. Because
Just one more thing.
Right, the big sleepover. Did you watch My Little Pony or Strawberry Shortcake?
If I don't,
about on the boat.
if I don't have my car or my truck, then why would I bring my keys on the boat? So I mean, there's just no point of bringing it because if I lose them, then there's more stuff to bring that I don't have to bring.
So I want you guys to explain this phone thing. I think Warren already addressed the fact that he told Christine.
Because, yeah, the phone thing makes you look really bad. Go on.
That he had the phone in his possession. So, the whole Life 360 thing is not adding up as far as what you're saying to me compared to what they're saying. Now, how did...
And for anybody who doesn't know, I have Life 360 on our family too. You can see somebody's movements. You can see exactly how fast they're going in real time. You can see when they arrived somewhere. You can see when they left somewhere. You can go back into a detailed history. So their exact movements. It's crazy. It's wild. It took me a while to get used to it because I felt like my family was spying on me. I'm not even kidding. It's just like, but you want that. You want to be able to keep track of everybody for sure. So that's the Life 360, but then the Snapchat has a location on it too that wasn't matching up.
Whoever came and get the phone, how did they get in touch with you guys, and how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating. And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him? And then he was like, so where are y'all at? And I told him, I said, we're at Jax's house. And then Warren got on the phone, and I don't know.
So they come to my house, right? And they kind of
Hold on, before we get there. Was it confrontational or was it just him
most
just trying to find?
definitely.
It was confrontational
Yeah,
already.
wouldn't y'all agree?
Why is this the first time anybody's heard anything about this confrontation?
Yeah, so
He was like-
110%
He was very-
confrontation.
And when did this
Hostile,
happen?
yeah,
Was
it was really
this on the night
hostile.
of the 4th or the next
This
day?
was the night when this was before they came and got the phone.
So this is the night of the 4th, yes.
So you had already spoke to Christine,
Correct.
and then you get a call that was hostile.
Yeah, and then Morgan handed the phone over to me. I was like, oh, let me talk to him because I knew the guy, and I was just like, hey, like, he was like, where y'all at? Where y'all at? I was like, we're at Jackson's house. It's like calm down. And then he hung up on me, and
Yes, Annabese, I'm still alive.
Okay, so they come, they pull up
I
to
see
my
your
house.
text on the
And at
screen.
this point, I'm kind of freaking out. We're all trying to put our heads together on where Nolan is. And I kind of like isolate myself in my room, just kind of get in a ball and just lose it kind of basically for a few hours. and they just walk into my house, you know. And
Okay, this is really weird. He goes into his room to isolate for a few hours and lose it. Why? Just because your friend is like run off with some chick for the night? You go isolate in your room and lose it. But you're trying to say that it's a huge emergency and that everybody needs to find him, and you're isolating in your room playing with your balls.
I hear all this commotion going on in my living room, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? So I walk out there, and there's probably like 10, 15 people in my house I don't even know. And they're all up in our faces, going crazy, asking where Nolan
Why would that be, mofo?
is, and we don't know. And finally they get into Wyatt's face, and they're like, where is your boat? Where is the boat at?
Demanding his address.
Demanding his address and stuff like that. And he finally ends up giving it to him. And then let me go ahead and state that while they're there, we give them the phone. They have the phone at this point. Then they get the address to his house. Then they go to his house. And they're searching all over his boat, what I heard and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I don't really know much about that, but they come back to my house at around 1 o'clock.
I think Wyatt's dad is a dentist. I'll have to double check. I have it in my screenshots. But I'm just thinking all these kids here, all of them, their daddies are doctors. And then, yeah, I'm confused about Katie, the mother. That Katie would be his mother. Right. Okay, so this is how it goes. Warren, his mother is Katie, his father is Ben Hudson. When they got a divorce, his mother married this guy's dad. And I don't know this guy's dad other than that his last name is Seymour. So Morgan Seymour's biological mom is the same as Warren's biological mom. So then they have a stepmom that their dad remarried, and that's Judge Ashley Cole. I am so sorry. Blended families are confusing, and it's confusing for kids too. It's stressful. Blended families are stressful. And all these kids have blended families. All their daddies have trophy wives. Every single freaking one of them.
In the morning, and it's his dad this time. And his dad's being really respectable, really
respectable. Okay. I want to say too, for anybody who doesn't know, doctors typically leave the wife that helped them get through medical school, and then they get the trophy wife. That is the most typical thing in the world, which is why a lot of people had empathy for Betty Broderick, if that name rings a bell, if you're old enough. If not, look it up. Betty Broderick. It's a terrible story.
really nice to me and stuff like that. And as long as another friend of theirs, and he's asked me like, where are the keys at?
And why wouldn't he be nice to you? He's not suspecting anything of you, and he's trying to get your assistance. Of course he's going to be nice to you because he's a nice man, and he's in a very vulnerable position. And at this point, he's probably not thinking that his kid is deceased at all.
I don't even know where Nolan's keys are at in my house. You know how hard it is to find a set of keys in a house?
Wait.
Wait.
Let me just add one more thing. So I start scrambling. I'm gonna let him talk, but I just want to add one more thing. It wasn't until the keys were handed to him and the words that were spoken was, Nolan was one of my best friends, past tense.
Around my house looking, there's stuff everywhere. Keep in mind, all these people stayed the night at my house before. I'm looking through everything. I can't find the keys. I run back to his father, or stepfather, and I was like, I don't know where the keys are. And the guy standing next to him's texting somebody. I guess I was at my house, and he said,
It's also kind of rude because Nolan and his family didn't distinguish that that was his stepfather. That was the only father he ever knew. That man parented him. So he didn't have a relationship with his biological dad, which is why he had his mother's last name instead of the person who impregnated her.
Said that they're on the Xbox. So I run in, I see him on the Xbox, grab him off the Xbox, and I go and hand it to him. It's plain and simple, didn't even take 30 seconds.
No trouble.
No trouble at all. So
this narrative that they're pushing, that there was any...
After 15 minutes, this narrative that they're pushing that we were pussyfooting around, beating around the bush, being difficult, being disrespectful, and then when Jax hands it to him, he says, Nolan was my best friend. Nolan was like my best friend.
argument over the phone or the keys is completely false. Like, let's get that clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just kind of hang around my house, taking pictures of all the cars' license.
And again, nobody cares about this minutia. What we care about is what happened to Nolan. You're just trying to cover your freaking tracks because it's all a bunch of lies.
Plate in the driveway, stuff like that. And so,
When you say they, how many people are here this time?
like 15.
15 people that you don't know.
It was Nolan's army, man. They came out of the woodwork because people loved Nolan. He was a fabulous individual. The night before his disappearance, the night before he slept over at this jack-off kid's house, he cooked his family a salmon dinner. How many 18-year-old guys do you know that would cook dinner for their family? And salmon, come on. What a freaking perfect person.
4 or 5 vehicles.
I mean, I knew some of them I went to high school with, and then some of them I didn't know.
Now, walk me through this. How do you
And again, how are you best friends with Nolan and you didn't know his friends?
think it got to this point so fast? That's one thing that I'm curious about. Like, you
Jumping to conclusion.
I guess so. I mean,
That's plain and simple.
They went and searched Wyatt's boat.
Yeah, they went
Put your hands back in your pockets, dude.
and searched
Like,
White's boat.
like
we
we
were
were
hiding under there or
hiding
something.
Nolan in his boat or something. Like, what is
And where is Wyatt? How come he's not out here with you guys?
what is wrong with
Yeah.
him? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
We called law enforcement. I was with Wyatt at the time. After we left Jax's house that night, I was with Wyatt, and one person we were with saw that their location was headed towards Wyatt's house. And so Wyatt got on the phone with 911 and was like, hey, these people are on the way to my house or already at my house. My mom and my dad are there alone, and they know nothing about this. But
What, were you afraid that a mob was going to come to your house and harass your parents? This is wild. I didn't check this part out yet until now. I didn't get quite through the whole thing before I came on live. And we're almost done.
Wyatt's mom actually, when they were looking at the boat, they were actually walking from the boat, and she came out and started talking to them at that point. But
did the police get involved in some degree here?
yes,
Did they have pitchforks and torches?
That's what I'm about to get into. So whenever they were at my house hanging out, just, I guess, hanging out in my front yard, finally they wouldn't leave. And
Were they burning crosses in your front yard?
one of the people there came up and started banging on the door again for whatever reason, I don't know. My brother actually had
Maybe because you should have been out there talking with them and trying to figure out where your friend is, your best friend.
to call the cops. And I think they came around 2 o'clock in the morning and removed them from our property. And after that, we really haven't spoken to them since. But
This is crazy. We've heard nothing about this. I mean, I've been paying really close attention to this case, not from day one, but for well over a month. I've been paying really close attention to this case. The cops had to remove people from his front yard.
yeah, we had to call the cops to make them leave.
The cops came, you told them to leave,
and you wouldn't just hang out with these people and say, I know, my God, I'm beside myself. I understand why you're so angry. I'm crushed. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where he is. I'm hoping that he's okay. But no, shit wasn't adding up, mofo.
And then, is there anything else that you addressed with the cops while they were there?
Yeah, so the cops were asking me why these people are at my house in the first place, and I told them straight up, we don't know where our friend is at. I don't know where my best friend's at. These people don't know where their friend's at. We're trying to figure it out.
Wait, I thought it was the same friend. Be clear, please. Be precise.
And they're basically assuming that we did something to our friend, which we didn't. And
oh my God,
okay.
that deep breath, man. That deep breath. And let me just say something here that could be entirely a projection of mine. But see this ore up here on the wall? I've found it very interesting because, you know, there's theories that the red mark on the back of Nolan's head could be from getting hit with a metal ore. And in that CATO call, I can't hear it, but there's people who think that they hear a big thud that sounds like a metal baseball bat hitting something. I have not spotted that. But I just think if something like that happened, then this is just right there. Let's keep going.
Just taking notes, and then remove them from there.
Do you think that this had anything to do with race at this point? Meaning that they approached you
I'm sorry, Race Baitem Tatum.
because of race, or they approached you because you were the last people with
No.
So at this point, at this point, they just want answers. I don't think this was about race at this point. They're mad and furious, and they don't know what's going on.
But I also want to get this straight. Like, I know some of these people, and these people are like good people.
Yeah.
And I went to high school with these guys. Like, they know me, and I know them, and they know my friends, and they know them. This wasn't
Are they all black, I wonder?
about race. They just knew for a fact that Nolan went on the boat with us. And
Yeah.
they were worked up, and that's okay. And they were mad, but that wasn't handling things. That wasn't trying to help. You getting mad isn't.
They were mad because you were talking out of both sides of your mouth and nothing you were saying added up. And it especially didn't add up with your demeanor or when Jax handed the keys to the dad and said, Nolan was like one of my best friends. He's only been missing for 6 hours, allegedly. You left him with a girl. It's a national holiday. It's about midnight. Story's not adding up.
Isn't helping anything. But instead of solving the problem and trying to figure out, hey, where is Nolan? They were just getting pissed off and not handling things the right way. And I mean, that's what happened.
You guys said you ended up going and looking for Nolan the next morning, but you said you were thinking about doing it that night.
Yes.
And why didn't you do it that night?
So
Well, because they needed to go get their Mickey D's for breakfast before they could go, and they weren't open yet, I think. I'm pretty sure. Something like that.
we already called the Coast Guard at this point. We didn't have access to a boat that was already in the water ready to go, other than one that I'm just not allowed to use at all. And I was still this close to taking it out. I mean, I was right.
Oh my God. Again, I haven't heard this part yet. Holy crap. I was this close to taking it out. I'm talking about my friend in the past tense. That's how bad I'm thinking it is. And I thought about taking the boat out that I wouldn't normally take out.
Right there.
So you guys go the next morning, you look for Nolan. Can you explain how did that happen? Who was looking for Nolan? Who was on the boat?
Can we first get the menu items from Warren about McDonald's and what types of, did he have hash browns? Did he have a McMuffin?
boat? Was it multiple boats? Was
Multiple
it one boat?
boats.
Okay, can you explain that? Who was, out of this group, who was on what boat, or who was on a boat or not, going out looking for Nolan?
So, me, Wyatt, and Trayson got in the boat. We got in the Palm Beach that morning, the morning after, and we rode out to the islands, and we were met by a DMR. There was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes.
Yeah, we were all on the boat with him that day. Is there a problem?
They just said, all right, well, I mean, we got the area scoped out. I mean, and then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all in the water.
I took my boat out with Jax.
Yeah.
A couple friends.
Man, the way he's like so laid back and talking like he's smoking, having a beer, just in a rocking chair on a front porch is so freaking disrespectful. It just kills me. Your friend passed away. You know that now. And you're just so hung up on going over the minutia. I bring up the McDonald's thing because he talked about that. He talked about his freaking breakfast at McDonald's.
Mine, and then my mom and my stepdad. And
Oh, they were out there too with you?
correct. And I just met Morgan and Wyatt and Trayson and his girlfriend out there. And we actually, when I rolled up, I parked up next to Morgan and everybody who was with him. And I was like, well, y'all can run around, or we all planned this out. Morgan was going to run around the south side while we covered the north side. And we were just going to try to take us, cover as much ground as possible. But, I mean, there were so many DMR boats and helicopters and drones and everything else out there. I don't really know what an 8.
So much so that they definitely would have found Nolan if he was there. They didn't plant his remains there for another 20 hours. It wasn't until the wee hours of the next morning on the 6th.
18 and a 25-foot bay boat is really going to do. So, I mean, we sat out there. We went for a couple hours, and we looked around, and we searched. But we also don't fit the requirement that DMR has, and the tools that DMR and United Cajun Navy and all these departments have to look for somebody. We didn't put that much of a help out. But yes, of course, we went out there and looked for our friend. That's not a question.
Who else in the friend group was out there? Did you see Nolan's family? Did you see some of the other kids that showed up at your house? You see anybody else out there?
We did see.
I gotta pause it here.
My body can do
Oh,
things
now
today
they're gonna
I
do
could
that.
not
Hold
even
on.
dream of as a child. I became a contortionist in 3.5 months, past 4.
Bombshell tonight in the Nolan Wells investigation. Tonight, the timeline seeming.
Okay, I think that was the rest of the video. I think that was the whole thing. It just kind of drops off. Because they clipped a lot of it. There were lots of parts that they didn't want us to see. But let me double check. So I just now see that there's a million comments, and I'll get caught up with them, you guys. I would have been reading them as we went if my freaking device would have let me know. I was like, wow, there's nobody in my chat. Okay. But let me see if that was, in fact, the end of it. I think it was, but that was kind of weird the way it jump skipped like that. So let me go back, because maybe it something happened.
Do you think you're gonna sink?
No, you're not. No, you are not. You are going to either get jumped, hurt, something bad's going to happen.
Oh, wait,
to you
no,
at that
okay.
funeral. And then on top of that,
Okay, no, there is still a couple of minutes left. Okay, so let's watch the last couple of minutes. I will go straight to where you guys are in the chat. And Big Hook, and Josh Sees, and all you people are here. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. So we got the last 3 minutes or so of this. Let me figure out how much we got cut off there. I think we already saw this part. One
Yeah,
sec.
we're gonna make it through this regardless of what people say about us. Yeah,
You guys want to say to the audience regarding this interview that wasn't covered? You guys want to say to the
first place, we have nothing to delete on Nolan's phone. Like, I don't know.
I could say personally, I started my story from the 90s.
So when did you guys actually talk to law enforcement and give your statements to them?
So,
and when did you guys communicate with law enforcement? Because the internet, I think,
just tons of water flows through, the tide goes out. I mean, sometimes it gets pretty gnarly in there, and that was previously Nolan's high school coach. We met up with him. They said that they had previously already out there.
Okay, we still have like
DMR,
10 minutes.
Park Rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information.
Doing it that night.
Yes.
And why didn't you do it that night?
So we already called the Coast Guard at this point.
Okay, let's just go from here.
We didn't have access to a boat.
So yeah, we have about 15 minutes
already
left.
in the water, ready to go.
And then I'll get
other
caught up with
than
all your comments
one
from
that
earlier.
I'm just not allowed to use at all. And I was still this close to taking it out. I mean, I was right there.
So you guys go the next morning.
Make
you
the
look
screen
for
big.
Nolan. Can you explain how did that happen? Who looking for Nolan? Who was on the boat? Was it multiple boats? Was it
Multiple
one boat?
boats.
Okay, can you prove who was on what boat, or who was on a boat or not? Go.
So, me, Wyatt, and Trayson got in the boat. We got in the Palm Beach that morning, the morning after, and we rode out to the islands, and we were met by a DMR. There was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and Park Rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes. They just said, all right, well, I mean, we got the area scoped out. I mean, and then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all in the water.
I took my boat out with Jax.
Yeah.
A couple friends of mine, and then my mom and my stepdad. And
They were out there too with you?
correct. And I just met Morgan and Wyatt and Trayson and his girlfriend out there. And we actually, when I rolled up, I parked up next to Morgan and everybody who was with him. And I was like, well, y'all can run around, or we all planned this out. Morgan was going to run around the south side while we covered the north side. And we were just going to try to cover as much ground as possible. But, I mean, there were so many DMR boats and helicopters and drones and everything else out there. I don't really know what an 18 and a 25-foot bay boat is really going to do.
Yeah, there's no way that they would have not found him. And there's no way he washed up the next morning. So I love the hate watchers. That's actually really good for your channel to have the hate watchers. But Anna Bees, you do whatever you feel like you need to do, my dear. I completely trust your judgment. It just cracks me up. Again, when I'm on my cell phone, I don't have the ability to tell it that only subscribers can comment. And just that little thing, making people be a subscriber for 5 minutes, the hate watchers, they don't have the attention span or the patience to wait 5 minutes before they can start making their awesome comments. Oh, man.
So, I mean, we sat out there. We went for a couple hours. We looked around and we searched. But we also don't fit the requirement that DMR has and the tools that DMR and United Cajun Navy and all these departments have to look for somebody. We didn't put that much of a help out. But yes, of course, we went out there and looked for our friend. That's not a question.
You were the last ones to see him, and you didn't put that much help out? Because what? You're not part of a professional search and rescue squad? That just doesn't make any sense. Especially because you're going to be emotional in a real life situation like that. You're going to just do whatever you need to do to calm yourself down. And so usually that's like staying busy, maybe making flyers. Like, yeah, I can go back to land and make flyers while you guys are out here doing your search.
Who else in the friend group was out there? Did you see Nolan's family? Did you see?
You could be on social media posting digital flyers, except wait, you took down all your social media accounts. Where'd you find time for that? Before or after Mickey D's?
Some of the other kids that showed up at your house? You see anybody else out there?
We did see a couple other. We met up with a coach that was previously Nolan's high school coach. We met up with him. They said that they had previously already been on the island. They walked a good bit down the island both ways, and they were just driving around the island like we were doing. And we eventually got off the island. We got on this rip current. It was going west out towards Ship Island and then back towards Biloxi. And we drove that for a couple miles. People were also looking on that too.
No, Josh, I'm sure you didn't offend Anna Bees. And Big Hook, you're offending me with your joke there. Jazz has been ignoring us this whole night to be consistent. I wish I'd been seeing your comments. That's annoying. They've switched up how it works to do a live on a cell phone. I haven't done a live on a cell phone except for a couple nights ago. I hadn't done one in forever, other than when I'm out walking and then I'm not, or driving, and then I can't do my reading of the comments anyway. But yeah, this is good.
There was multiple boats out there not associated with DMR with binoculars. There was people fishing the rip, and we asked them, they rode it all the way from Ocean Springs all the way out to Horn Island, and we were like, did you see anything, blah, 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 because, I mean, if a person is floating in the water, treading water, they are going to be most likely in the rip, and that all comes into play with the washing machine. I mean, you got Horn Island.
The washing machine for me.
Horn Island and Ship Island, I mean, they come like this, and then there's no island right here, so it just tons of water flows through, the tide goes out. I mean, sometimes it gets pretty gnarly in there, and it creates this big old pool, basically. Yeah. And, I mean, if someone was floating, treading water out in the water, that's where they would be. They could be hung up, they could grab onto a log and float with a piece of driftwood or something, or they could find a channel marker or a buoy and grab onto that. So, I mean, there was just main keys that you search for, when you're trying to search for a missing person that has to do with water. And, I mean, it's either the island, the buoys, or the rip. And then after that, there's not really anything else you can do. Seriously.
And when did you guys communicate with law enforcement? Because the internet, I think, has this false information that you guys never contacted authorities, and that Warren actually talked to me, or you guys talked to me first before you engaged.
No, nobody thinks that. Everybody knows that they contacted the authorities. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. I mean, they contacted Warren's stepmom right away so she can make her little freaking Facebook post, and then text Nolan's mother, Christine. And again, if she had guilty knowledge, I mean, her text was cold, ice cold, no matter how you look at it. But if she had guilty knowledge, then that's actual harassment and stalking and badgering. That's some serious charges for a judge.
So when did you guys actually talk to law enforcement and give your statements to them?
So as soon as we got off the water from searching for Nolan,
which is on the day of the 5th?
Yeah, the 5th. As soon as we got off the water, I got a phone call. I believe he got a phone call too.
Yeah, I got a phone call while we were out there.
I got a phone call too as well.
So basically what it was saying was, hey, take a few questions over the phone, answer the questions, and then they had a date for us to come in for actual questioning.
Okay.
and mine was the 6th. There's like the next day or something like that. You know, I think theirs was 2.
I believe mine was the 7th. I would like to say, but not for sure. But
Mine was around.
regardless, like we all cooperated fully. It's not like we had something.
Yeah,
like,
full
weird.
co-op.
I just got to say, Anna Bees, you guys are fine. It was that Robbie that was being rude, calling Jazz a Karen. All these guys are effing Karens, especially Race Baitem Tatum. And hey, Ara, lovely to see you, my dear.
Operation from the start, really.
And how deep did they go in this interview with you guys?
Oh, they asked.
All the way. I mean, they asked.
I mean,
How long was the interview? Like, was it a
an
long
hour,
interview?
Hour and a half. I dotted every I, crossed every T.
Yeah.
I told my friends, like, listen, go in there and like say every detail, like even what you like ate for breakfast that morning. It doesn't matter, everything you have, because like anything could help you.
Yeah, he literally told all of us what he ate for effing breakfast. Anything to make it look like you're being open and honest and sharing information that might help. Distract them. Flood the zone, baby. My attempts at humor sometimes are taken the wrong way. It's hard to be humorous in a text, in a comment. It's really hard. Yeah, it's tricky.
Literally never know, and like it's what we all did. Like
Yeah.
we all cooperated. We all wanted to help. We all did everything that we could to help. Like regarding this situation, it's not like we just like.
I can say
blindsided this.
I can say personally, I started my story from the night before.
yeah, I started.
Whenever I got off work on Friday.
I started my story from last 5th of July. Like, she was like, all right, take me back to day 1. And I was like, all right, I mean, we've been talking about this since the 5th of July last year.
Like
what we're going to do, like how we're going to make this better, how are we going to make this funner, like.
As far as the investigation is
Okay,
concerned,
now that might actually be a big clue. Because last year, the 4th of July, people would be planning for the nation's 250th 4th of July, especially the Confederate types in the South, the Klan types. And it could well be that what happened to Nolan was part of the plan dating back a year ago. I know it's sick and twisted, but that's how the Triple K rolls.
did you guys give your phones over to investigators?
Yes, we gave our phones over free willingly. It was our choice just to give our phones over, let them look through them, whatever they wanted to do, and got them
Because
back.
we have nothing to hide. We wanted to be fully transparent with, you know, the sheriff's department, everybody else included, including the FBI, and you know, anything to do with justice. We wanted to help out, and that's what we did. We gave our phones up, and like Jack stated, we literally have nothing to hide. So.
Yeah.
And everybody gave it.
Do share your nitrous oxide theory, Josh sees. I am not familiar with it. And yeah, I've wondered if anything was used to incapacitate Nolan. And they would have access to nitrous oxide with the one of their gang whose father is the dentist. And I'd have to look at my the chart to see which one whose dad is a dentist. I forget. It's not any of these three. None of these three are dentists, unless it's his stepdad. It might be his stepdad that's a dentist. Oh, I think it might be. Wow. Okay, let's finish this up if we can.
Phones up.
Correct.
Yep.
To be forensically evaluated by the FBI?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so while on the topic of phones, did you guys have any access to Nolan's phone? Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone? What's your thoughts on Miss Christine saying things may have been deleted?
My thought is that's a blatant lie. I know for
Obvious.
a fact that this is the thing. We have no reason to get on Nolan's phone. I have no reason to get on any of my friends' phones. If I had a reason to get on Nolan's phone, I wouldn't be able to get on.
I want to stop it here because my brain keeps turning inside out over the mamas and the papas of these two. So Warren the two on either side of Jack's. Warren in the red t-shirt and Mason, I think is the guy's name, in the white t-shirt. Warren's mom is Katie Hudson Seymour. So Katie Hudson Seymour used to be married to this guy's dad, and when they got a divorce, his dad married Judge Ashley Cole. So this guy has the Seymour last name. I think his name is Morgan Seymour. So Katie Hudson Seymour is actually his stepmom. So his biological dad, Mr. Seymour, and I'll look at my chart after we're done with this video, Mr. Seymour might be the one who's a dentist. So that's very interesting. Let's see. Annabees, one of the parents is a dentist. Yeah. Step right back and I will tell a tale of a fatal trip with I know, I think of Gilligan's Island big time with this. And the skipper to the millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Marianne, all on Gilligan's Island. And I met the skipper in real life when I was like 8 years old at the bank in Century City, Los Angeles. And I was so happy to meet him. He was very nice. He gave me his autograph. Josh C says, I just thought of it. A bottle of nitrous would be a big hit at a party. Look for pictures of people with balloons. Yeah. If they had a mask. Right. Well, yeah, because you have to put it in a balloon or something. Otherwise, it'll freeze your lungs and crack them. That's some crazy stuff. I used to mess around with that when I was a teenager. It's horrible stuff. Let's see. Let's see if I can get my mouse going to finish this video up.
On it, because I don't know Nolan's password. I don't know any of my friends' passwords. If I handed Jax my phone right now, he wouldn't be able to get on my phone. I have nothing.
This is ridiculous. Of course nobody knows anybody's passwords, but if Nolan had facial recognition on his phone, I'm pretty sure you could swipe it across his face post-mortem, or maybe he was still alive and he was incapacitated.
I'd have him permanently locked out of that thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to get on Nolan's phone to delete anything. But in the first place, we have nothing to delete on Nolan's phone. Like, I don't know what this, because Nolan didn't take Snapchats that day. That means things were deleted.
He was just living in the moment.
We were just living in the moment.
If anything was deleted, it'll be discovered. So don't worry. You can drop it. You can just drop it and let them see what they find.
Like every guy on the planet Earth does. I mean, like I'm not sitting here filming my whole day, and I get Nolan. Yeah, it took a lot of pictures, but just because Nolan didn't take any pictures from July 3rd to July 4th doesn't mean we deleted something. No, Nolan just didn't take any pictures, and that's perfectly fine. I have one video in my camera roll saved from the 4th of July, so.
Most people have no idea they can get ready to post content the minute they stop recording with Riverside. So I opened the Made For You tab.
Let me try to skip this.
So last question, is there anything you guys want to say to the audience regarding this interview that wasn't covered, or something you just want to get off your chest?
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to all of us. I mean, we loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without
We loved him dearly just sounds so contrived. That's just not how dudes talk. No dudes that I know.
a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened to him more than we do. I mean, we want to know what happened to our best friend more than anybody, and I promise you that.
I just want.
And how do they all have this mutual best friend? It's the most bizarre thing. The whole definition of best friend is like two people that are best friends. So like their whole group, they're trying to say he's best friends with their whole group. He's our best friend. But then there's so many times in the storyline where they've said, you know, our friends versus Nolan's friends. Thought you guys were all friends.
I want to say thank you to everybody who's like sat here and supported us through this horrible moment. I mean, we're all.
Other than their parents and the people like the governor and the DA and the sheriff and the coroner, I don't think anybody supports these people. I think their whole freaking town is turned against them. But, you know, I'm sure that they're just trying to spin their yarn of like, oh, we have all this great support, so much love, we can barely handle it. If you use Google, it remembers and offers to apply your passwords. Yeah, they definitely had weird verbiage. Yeah, and just weird posture and, you know, wearing shorts to an interview. Like, I'm sorry, like, that's just not, I don't think that's normal, even in a beach community. Even in the summer, you're going on national television, international television. Millions of people are going to see this. Why are you showing us your freaking hairy legs?
We're still teenagers at the end of the day, and for the internet to come.
Wait,
people.
You called yourself men earlier. You called yourself men, remember?
Come and accuse you of killing your best friend. It's a horrible thing, and I know Nolan wouldn't want this.
Oh, no.
And
Oh yeah, people need to quit disrespecting Nolan. He wouldn't want this. And what a shocking surprise. He says killing your best friend is a horrible thing? Huh. Who knew?
It's terrible that it's come to this, and it's terrible that it's come to a race battle, but, you know, I want everybody to know how much we appreciate the support, and that my friends and I literally sit there and pray for everybody who's sitting here and sending this hate on everybody. Like, my friends are really upset about this, and so am I, that, like, this has turned into this huge thing. So, you know, I just want people to know that, you know, we're praying for people. Our faith.
Oh, it's so nice that they're praying for those of us who hate them and think they're lying sacks of murderous crap. That's so nice. I'm so happy that they're praying for me. I believe that they are praying, that they're praying that they're going to get away with this and not have to spend the rest of their lives in jail if it is indeed a freaking hate crime.
With the Lord strong, and, you know, we're going to make it through this regardless of what people say about us.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. Nolan is turning in his grave right now. This is the last thing he would ever want his friends to be going through.
Yeah.
Like
No, I'm pretty sure he wants justice.
the absolute last. Like, this is, he's, gosh, he did not want any of this. He wouldn't want this public.
Wait, what is the Darvo? Deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Right. Got it.
Publicity. The fact that we couldn't even go to our best friend's funeral because, one, we didn't want to take the attention away from
No, you could have went. You could have went, trust me.
him. I mean, that was his day. We didn't want to do that. And the fact that we couldn't even go to our best friend's funeral is horrible. That's something we got to live with.
No, you couldn't go because you couldn't bear to look those people in the face. Because there was so much heat on you because they were onto your crap.
You know,
Some of our lives.
So you say you couldn't go. Can you explain that a little more? What were you told that you couldn't go, or was it something that you derived from the feedback that you've been getting from the family? What made you ultimately make the decision not to go to the funeral?
So it was a little bit of both. It was one. Well, at first we had our heads down. We're like, all right, we're gonna go. We want to go. This is the last time we ever get to see our best friend. We're gonna go. And then as soon as we made up our minds with that, everybody was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not. You are gonna either get jumped, hurt, something bad is gonna happen to you. You go to that funeral. And then on top of that, they point out another fact that we're gonna take the attention away from, and that's the last thing we want to do.
Yeah, 100%. Like they both said, like, Nolan's like a brother to us, and now me and all my friends have to live with. Imagine you were 19 years old and your best friend just died, and now the whole internet's accusing.
Wait, why'd you cut yourself off? Now we have to live with what we did? He totally cut himself off. He's like, nah, you better say this, better take it a different direction. Sorry, couldn't resist, Jazz. Big Hook, you're so mean. No, I like you teasing me. It makes me laugh. And yeah, I was going to say something about stage fright. Like when you're live, I don't think it matters how long you've been doing it, because I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. But you know, you just get into this zone, and if you can't think of a word, it's gonna like really not come when you're live. You know, sort of. It's like public speaking.
Accusing you of killing him. And on top of that, you can't go to his funeral and say your last goodbyes to one of your best friends. Because regardless, and Morgan and Jack's feel the same way. And so does
But wait, I thought that he was your best friend.
White, everybody else.
Just
I can
one
speak
of?
on their behalf about this. Regardless about what the internet says about our relationships with Nolan, we know from the bottom of our
Again, nobody's talking about your relationships with Nolan except you weirdo. OMG.
heart who Nolan was to us and who we were to Nolan. And at the end of the day, I can say this confidently. We were Nolan's closest friends. And we were Nolan's best friends. And this isn't a competition. I know a bunch of guys that were best friends with Nolan too. Like Javon.
It's not a competition, but you just said that you get the prize, that you have the blue ribbon.
Javon and him. Javon and Nolan were like brothers too, but this isn't to take attention away from them, but this was a brotherhood. Like this was my brother, and for someone to take away, and the internet to take away our privileges to go to his funeral because they think this was a racial thing is absolutely horrible. And like we all feel that way. Like it's sick. Like seriously, it's absolutely sick.
Thank you guys for coming on the interview. I think it's very courageous and brave. I know that you guys know this, that
I like the way Tatum jumps in, like, quit talking about the racial thing.
people are going to say things about you, lie on you, even after listening to what you have said on this interview, even the truth that you've displayed on it.
Even after all of your truth bombs that you've dropped in this ridiculous COON interview.
This interview, even with the other interview we did, that there's going to be lawsuits for defamation. People are still going to lie. But I want to say, after...
Even though we tried to threaten everybody and scare them, they're still going to talk trash about you because you're trash. You are trash. I'm allowed to have that opinion. I'm allowed to say it publicly. You guys are all effing trash, and you know it. You guys know that you're trash. It's going to haunt you for the rest of your freaking worthless scumbag lives.
Getting a chance to meet you guys, that I'm very proud of you guys for telling your side.
Appreciate it.
It's not easy, and I hope that the world
So proud. Proud boys.
could at least give you a chance by hearing what you have to say. And the truth is going to come out, right? It's going to bear witness if you guys are being honest or not at the end of the day. But I applaud you for taking a step at such a young age to come out and at least, tell your side. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
All right, y'all, that concludes all of our interviews. If you enjoy my investigatory research that I've done, the interviews that we've done, help us do more of this. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and also join our membership program. The memberships are what really help us to go outside of the box, go outside of the routine YouTube podcast, and do these investigations. Thank you guys for supporting us. We'll see you on the next one.
This might get stuck in your head.
Okay, now I can take this down. Isn't that fun?
Thank God I'm starving. Can you recommend a good place to eat?
Sorry, let me mute this. Okay. Oh, it's so fun being able to watch videos with my home fries on the big screen. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on with Nolan's case. There's so much going on with other cases. Let me just say real quick before I look at my notes and catch up with all of your chat. Are you guys familiar with the Chris Watts case? I know many of you are, like Anna Bees definitely is. Chris Watts was the man who confessed to unaliving his wife and little toddler daughters. What is it now? 8 years ago? Oh, 8 years ago today, I think. No, is it today? I think it's 8 years ago today, the 13th. Except it's 12:01, so now it's the 14th. Wasn't it the 13th of, oh, let me look real quick. The date of the Watts familicide. So he's engaged. He's getting married. He's getting remarried to a black woman. It's crazy. Let's see. Watts familicide. Yeah, August 13th. Oh, it's so gross. So today's the 8-year anniversary, and I honestly want to make a prayer for Shanann, little Nico that was in utero, Cece that was 3, and Bella who was 4. You know, he put them in those oil tanks. I know that Josh Sees or Big Hook, one of you guys, I think, mentioned it in one of Trucker John's videos recently, like, I don't know, real recently. So I know that most of the people in the chat are familiar with the Watts case. But yeah, a moment of silence for the Watts that are deceased, and for the Ruzicks, who's their family that's still living and has to live without them. Nico would be 7. Shanann would be maybe 41, I think. Bella would be 12. Oh man, just makes me want to cry. And Cece would be 11. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. So I'm glad that I remembered the anniversary for them. Be still my heart. And so I wanted to mention that about the Watts case. Let me catch up with, should I go through and at least try to scan the comments? Because the other thing is, I don't know that the comments will show back up for the replay crew. Because again, there's just so many things you can't do when you're on your cell phone. So let's see. She needs to recharge her batteries, operating on gum and a shoestring. I think Politics Girl said everything that needed to be said in Mississippi. It's a warning to Black people to never overstep. Big Hook, that was it, like a 6-minute Politics Girl video that she dropped today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I'm so glad she talked to Nolan's case, and yeah, she nailed it. She's really good. She's a smart cookie. I'll put a link in the description to Politics Girl video about the Nolan Wells case. So let me try to kind of speed read so I can get caught up. The answer, no answer to the witness speaks volumes. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Sloppy cover up with a lame story of their alibis. And it keeps changing because when the evidence surfaces that contradicts their story, then they go, oh yeah, and they revise it, like with the thing like going out to the bayou or the CATO call. And you know, I don't think they figure out a way to mansplain away the background noise in the CATO call other than to say that it is enhanced, which it is. People have enhanced it by like canceling out the dispatcher, and then you know, I don't know how they do all that, where they like can take the white noise out, and you know, they can amp up the background noise so they can hear what's going on in the background, and that's called enhancements. But that's not changing it. That's not like inserting things into it that aren't there. So yeah, it has been enhanced. And it tells a really effed up story. And it would just be so funny, not funny, if in their fake call, their alibi call, their cover story, they ended up recording themselves doing what it sounds like they may have recorded themselves doing. And even without the background noise, take the background noise out of it, the whole call is bogus, and you know that it's bogus because at the end, when the dispatcher is talking to the captain and the captain's like, "Oh, I just got off the phone with Grandpa. Jerry says they don't need any help at all." That's indicative that Jerry called the captain to give him a heads up, you're about to get this call. You don't need to go out and do anything. So, in my opinion. So, no, I think that CATO call is going to hang them either way, with or without the background noise. I think they're toast. And I think they know it. And I think that's why they're panicking and they're getting these lame lawyers out there and doing their lame crap because they just can't help themselves. They're like, but we've got the money. We're privileged white kids. We shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of our actions. Next, the song Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, background music needed. I love that song. Love it. Otis Redding. He died a week after he wrote that song. You know that, right? He was sitting on the dock of Sausalito looking at San Francisco, wrote that song, and then like 7 days later he got in a car crash. Dang it, Nancy, good evening, Jazz. The video is creepy where you can see, in my opinion, Nolan's hand or foot being pulled by the rope. Yeah, at first I didn't know what people were talking about when they were saying there's like a foot or hand or something. I'm like, I just don't even see it. But now I can see it plain as day. I don't know why I couldn't see it before unless it's been enhanced. Again, there is so much AI, it's hard to know what we can trust. But I don't think we can trust that 3-second video that Tatum posted because that was posted like the day after the CATO call came out. So they're like, oh, look, he's on the phone with the CATO company. And like they have the ropes like not even hooked up to another boat. The ropes are like hooked up to something in the middle of the deck of the boat. I don't know what. Thanks for showing this. I haven't seen this part 3. It just dropped today. Yeah. Today she is completely focused on the interview and providing commentary only if you have satellite phone. Big hook. Oh. The more they talk, the more guilty they sound. I know. I love it. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. You know, like it's so important for them to try to steer the narrative in the court of public opinion. It's like save it for the judge, man. Save it for the judge. Except it's not going to go to a court. They're going to be out. I think they're going to have to because all of the people that involved themselves in trying to help cover it up, they're not going to want to lay their lives down for them, like Judge Ashley Cole and like Warren's biological mom and Morgan's stepmom, Katie. You know, because Katie's post was saying like, I've never seen Warren like this. He's completely beside himself. She made that post on the 5th. So he wasn't found until the 6th. So she's saying that Warren is like coming out of his skin. Why would he be coming out of his skin when their story is that Dylan ran off with a hot chick? That doesn't make any sense. Idiots. Keep telling on yourselves. She's ignoring the chat today, I think, or she doesn't have her regular setup today. Yeah, so I decided to do it on my cell phone so I could show you the video on the laptop. And that's my laptop that I got working again yesterday at Best Buy. So I had a good experience there, which is great because I've had a lot of bad experiences there with past computers. It's all about jury via Jazz today. Yo, Jazz, good people. I think you're being sincere, Josh, but like the good people is what the douchebag lawyers keep saying about these good old boys, these fine young cannibals in Mississippi. Oh, those lawyers are such scum. They're so hard to watch. They're even harder for me to stomach than Race Baitem Tatum because they're just liars. Like they know their clients are guilty and they don't care. They don't care. I mean, sure, it's their job to defend these people, but if you know that your client committed a crime, I don't know. I don't know. The maid with the candlestick did it according to these guys. Right, Big Hook, but they can't do this. Some other guy did it because the first few days they were like, Nolan drowned. We know he drowned. We absolutely know he drowned. He had to have drowned. He definitely drowned. We know he drowned. And then when it became obvious that he was red rummed, then they're just like, dang, so he didn't drown. But they can't really say that some other guy did it. It's just not going to fly because of how they've conducted themselves, right? Social media gaps. Hey, jazz enemies. Holy body language. That's a good one. I got to highlight that. Holy body language. Josh, that's very clever. Big Hook Judge. Dang it, Nancy. I think it's effing reality TV and they can script it. They think it's reality TV and they can script it. I thought you said I think. Yeah. Well, these are spoiled little brats who've gotten everything they've wanted their whole lives. They probably had like their own like walk-in bedroom closets and walk-in bathrooms with like 2 sinks and 2 shower heads just in their own bedroom. They grew up in mansions. They grew up really wealthy. And they just can do whatever they want. And when I was saying that Warren said he had to call his mom like 8 times, she probably seriously wasn't answering her phone because she was herself at a 4th of July party and he probably just sucks the life out of her. He's probably just like always having drama and he's such a spoiled little brat. And she's got stepkids to contend with now too. But yeah, her post was very revealing, as was Ashley Cole's. Okay, I was wondering, I guarantee there was rugs involved. Yeah, Josh, I think that most of the time there is, and that people overlook that. And in real life cases where I know that rugs are like the cornerstone of the whole case, they usually leave that out when it comes to like the plea agreement and the court stuff. It's like they just, I don't know if they're trying to protect the cars that don't tell, or if they're they'll always say we're trying to not disrespect the deceased, we're trying to not disrespect the family, because yeah, it's definitely like throwing shade when even though it's actually there. I mean, throwing shade is more like when you're talking crap, but it just makes it worse. And a lot of times family are already dealing with somebody who overdosed or who was part of a rug deal gone bad or something, and they just want to stick with the heart attack story, or that there was like this big shootout that didn't have anything to do with anything. It was just random, right? It was all just a big natural, accidental, self-inflicted misadventure. Always. That's always what they go for. I'm not kidding. And that's what they were trying to go for with Nolan, but it ain't gonna stick. They're so guilty. Oh, I want to... Everything weird with you, lady. Could it be your weird, Karen? So this Robbie, Rob by the Redford, like Robert Redford. I don't know, but I could see the comment that you deleted Anna Bees, and thank you for deleting it. But I think it's funny. And I think it's funny that some hate watchers came into my thing, you know, like, why do you waste your time? Oh, so I fixed my necklace so that it lays flat now. I can't believe that I couldn't figure out how to do it, because once I realized how to do it, I was like, how come my brain wasn't able to come up with that before? So now it lays flat. But I liked it before the way it laid slightly higher, so it was more like a crescent moon. But now it is more like symmetrical all the way around. Anyway, what other stuff do I have on? I made these earrings. I did not make this necklace. I bought this necklace to take apart and make different stuff out of. So you'll see this taken apart and put into other things eventually. Hello, Ara. Lovely to see you, my dear. Should I look at, let's see. Hiya, Anna. I think she's ignoring chat today. Possible technical difficulties. Question: was the dentist nitrous oxide accounted for? I used to clean a dentist's office with a buddy after hours, and we definitely tapped into that. Oh my God. I had a friend who was working at an ice cream place, and he was doing it directly out of the whipped cream canister, which can freeze your lungs and kill you instantly. But he just overdid it. He luckily didn't freeze his lungs, but he fell down and broke his nose, so he got fired. Oh my God, this is too funny. I mean, how embarrassing, right? It's like, no, I wasn't doing the nitrous oxide. It was at a Friendly's, if you're familiar with Friendly's ice cream shops back in the day. I bet a tank of nitrous would be popular. Yep. At an island party. Yep. Jazz, my comments are being changed when I type something. Oh, how weird. Oh, see, I think that the shadow banning type of stuff with this case, just like with the Kylie Rodney case, I'm convinced. Same as yesterday. I tried to say hi, Anna. I tried to say hi, Ara, like 3 times. It's freaking crazy. Look. I said something about the dentist nitrous. Has the family requested a second autopsy via another coroner? Yes, Big Hook. So Colin Kaepernick offered to pay for a second autopsy and the transportation of the remains to Washington, D.C. And I was going to commit the doctor's name to memory today, but I didn't. I tried. I thought I had it, but my brain is fried. Anyway, I can ask the computer. It'll tell me. Who did the second autopsy? Who did Nolan Wells' second autopsy? I used to think that word was auto spy when I was little. Roger Mitchell. He did it on July 10th, and he's president of the National Medical Association. He's one of the best in the business. So, Dr. Roger A. Mitchell is who did the second one. But they didn't provide the throat structure. That was held back, as was the stomach contents, or the stomach and the lungs were like all dissected. So I think that dissected parts were provided, but they couldn't do anything conclusive with the stomach and the lungs. And then the throat structure, and what else? There was something else they held back. I'm getting tired. But the throat structure, like, so, like, we don't know if that hiatal bone was broken. Let's see, I'll just say what was held back. What was missing? The internal neck structure, the throat parts, along with his organs, like lungs, were missing or not included with the body because they had been removed and retained during the initial autopsy. See, it's weird because I've looked it up and sometimes it says that the lungs were included, but they were dissected. But this AI here says, the second autopsy report noted that parts of Wells' internal neck structures, including his trachea and throat parts, along with his organs like the lungs, were missing or not included with the body because they had been removed and retained during the initial autopsy. So the previously dissected chest organs, but they also, the stomach was so dissected that they couldn't test to see what was in it, and there could be water in it, there could be urine in it, there could be alcohol, like if they were pouring alcohol down his throat post-mortem. There could be food that would help put the pieces of the puzzle together to know like when he last ate and what he last ate. Because the neck structures and airways were absent, Dr. Mitchell stated that he could not directly observe the lungs for water or completely rule out neck trauma or compression as a contributing cause of death. The cause and manner of death were listed as undetermined, inconclusive. So they're still trying to get the rest of the information, the rest of the evidence. No laughing matter when nitrous oxide is used. Yeah, it's bad stuff, man. Oh no, we got a white apologist. Oh, terrible, terrible. You're just making me feel so insecure about myself. Catch any fish today? Just Jackie, woohoo. Josh says, Big Hook, I slayed the fish. I'm setting up for a fillet session. Ooh, what type of fish did you catch, Josh? You're up there in upstate New York. I think she was watching a mirror reflection of the video on the laptop she's using. Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's basically what I was doing. Does anyone want me to put Robbie in time out? Okay, so I think I got most of this, but let me just double check and speed read through it. So a fish fillet is on the menu tonight. Big Hook, they're going in the freezer. I bet I just didn't like his comments. No, thank you, Anna Bees, for taking care of that crap. I mean, I think it's laughable, but if it makes you uncomfortable, I'm happy for you to just make it go away. Ain't nobody got time for that crap. But yeah, it's good to be able to keep a thick skin. I mean, you have to, because people will come after you, and that's a them problem, not a me problem. Better to ignore him, Anna. Jazz has been ignoring us this whole night to be consistent. Oh no, I hope I didn't offend Anna Bees. No, Anna Bees is good. She's easygoing. Cook fish in a microwave, and I'm sure Anna will have the grounds to be offended. Josh, did they snag a bottle of nitrous oxide from the dentist to bring up to the island party? So I'm going to look and see in my screenshots right here which of these has the dad that's a dentist. Let's see if I can do that. I think it is, oh, it's kind of blurry. Wait a second. Jax, is it Jax that the parents are both the pharmacists? Yes. And then Will Parker or Wyatt, I think, or it's one of those two whose dad is a dentist. So it might be Wyatt who was driving the boat. Let me see. But I think it might be Will Parker whose dad is the dentist. Or it could even be this kid, the Eric Alcantara. That's how you say his name, Eric Alcantara. Or is it Morgan? Let me just ask AI. Let me just ask AI. Which of the kids in the Nolan Wells case, Nolan Wells case, has a dentist dad? Will Parker is the one who has a dentist dad. Jeremy Parker. And so Will Parker is like almost never mentioned. He's mentioned even less than Bart. So that makes me suspicious of him. And, you know, whoever supplied these underage people with alcohol is in trouble. Whoever let these underage people drunk drive boats is in trouble. And if there was something like, I've heard that the blow was involved, you'd want to get to the source of where that was from. You know, first they tried to accuse Nolan of using blow, but I don't think that went very well, so they gave up. But I think that there was blow on the island, and that these rich, privileged white people were using the rich, privileged white people booga sugar. And then Will Parker. So yeah, if somebody had supplied nitrous oxide, even if they stole it from the dentist's office, still it would come back to whoever was in possession of it, that they didn't keep it safe, right? No relation to WinRAR, possibly. You guys are fine. It was that Robbie that was being rude, calling Jazz a Karen. Yeah, that hurt my feelings. Not a Karen. I'm not a Karen. I'm so insecure about being called a Karen. And what's the difference between it being a Karen and being a Becky? I don't even know. But there is a difference. There's like one, like, I guess a Karen is the one that always wants to talk to the manager and always wants to make a scene. And then a Becky is, I think, the one that calls the police for somebody like having a picnic while black, or swimming while being black, or driving while being black, or shopping while being black. I think that's a Becky, is the one that calls the police about people doing things while being black. My attempts at humor are sometimes taken the wrong way. It is really hard if without like tone and intonation. It is really hard. Like, it's easy to have your jokes go sideways. I've got my nitrous oxide party drug theory. It wouldn't leave a trace. Well, yeah, and I've wondered, like, roofie and other stuff, you know, something to incapacitate him, because he was a strong young buck. He was 6'2". None of these guys are anywhere close to 6'2". Not even Bart. Bart is 6 feet or under, probably under, because they always exaggerate with that stuff. And, you know, Nolan was a big guy. I mean, he was slender, but he was buff. And a lot of those guys are like skinny windbags. And some of them are a little bit buff, but like Warren is like the skinniest freaking pencil neck freak out there. Did they have access to nitrous oxide? Annabees, one of the parents is a dentist. Step right back and I will tell you. Okay, I think we're all caught up, unless there's stuff now added at the end. Let's see. I bet they suck at fishing. So you should look at my my posts. I've been posting a lot lately, and I think they're great. And sometimes I repost other people's stuff. Let me see if I can pull something up. Yes, I can. Let's see if I can share this. Well, I just put this one up, and I said, wow, what a difference a month makes. Bottom picture is the 4th of July, Morgan, Jax, Nolan, and Eric. Top picture is Morgan, Jax, Warren, and Ed, the Trumpster fire attorney, last week on Race Baitem Tatum. The moment Race Baitem asked about the distress call, which he waited until the last 2 minutes of the interview to ever bring it up. And this is the picture of, let's see if I can make it, I don't know if I can make it bigger here. Oh, it's not letting me make it bigger. I think I have to go back to my file to the picture on their faces when, yeah, I can make this really big. So this is the interview with one of the scumbag attorneys, this guy whose name is Ed, and he's got like little chiclet teeth. He's so sleazy. So Warren is all locked up, sitting on his hands. And the moment that Race Baitem asks about the call, Jax gets this like wounded puppy dog look in his eyes. Can I make it bigger still? Yeah. Look at that. He just looks so sad. He looks so hurt. And then these two, the stepbrothers, they like lock eyes. This guy, look at that. So before they talk, they lock eyes, and then they both start talking at the same time. He breaks eye contact right away. And this one, Warren, is trying to keep the eye contact going. Let me get back to that. Oh, but this is a good picture of skinny little white boy Warren out there on the beach on the 5th, looking, in air quotes, looking for Nolan. He's such a little pencil neck weirdo. And then, so this picture just came out of nowhere. So I'm wondering if it's AI. This is supposedly on the 4th of July. So this guy is Eric, the one on the end with the brown hair. And then you got Nolan, and then you got the guy in the blue shorts is Jax, and then the guy in the orange shorts is Morgan. So that's Eric Alcantuna, or however you say his name. He's the one, see, he's got the cross on his neck in this picture, but not in every picture. Sometimes he just has the white beads on. So I wonder if some of these pictures are AI. Like that one just came out of nowhere. And instead of holding beers, they're all holding Red Bulls. So let me see. Oh, this is annoying. Let me just set it down. I was going to show you the look on Warren's eyes. Not only the look on Warren's eyes, but even the look on the attorney's face when Race Baitem asks about that call. So that's Warren getting all locked up, sitting on his hands, making eye contact with the stepbrother over here. And then Warren wants to keep the eye contact going. He keeps staring him down even long after he's broken eye contact. But they both start answering at the same time. And then Warren is basically trying to get him to shut up so he can take control of the narrative. And then their stupid attorney, the Trump attorney, that's him. He looks really bad when he talks because his teeth are like all like discolored and like I said, tiny little chiclet teeth. They're nasty. And, you know, I feel bad criticizing somebody's teeth when my teeth are being so good. But anyway, it's nice having good teeth for once because, yeah, I've never really had the best teeth. I've had decent teeth. I've always tried to take care of my teeth. brush them a lot and all that stuff, and just going to the dentist. A lot of people don't keep up with the dentist. I mean, it's expensive, but a lot of people have like dentist phobia too. Let's see. I was gonna show you guys some other posts, but it's just not cooperating. It shouldn't be that hard. Let's see, posts. Oh, and I put a really nice photograph for my thumbnail with this video, and it's not even showing up, but that's okay. I'll take care of that later. So this was a good one. I reposted Sherry Jacobus's. This is like a catering cart in an airplane, and it says "fight, fight, fight." Get it? It's too funny. And then this one is my favorite. This is hilarious. And with it, I reposted something that this guy, I like his stuff, Steve Hofstetter. So I said, I can't believe this was already posted on YouTube for 7 hours unedited when I screenshot it and made tiny alterations to make it stay up forever. So I was just making sure that everybody could see it. And it's probably going to show it backwards. The words are all going to be backwards. So I'll just read it. You can go to my post to see it. I'm going to have to be careful with a couple words. It says, while I can still post what I want here, Donald Trump is an incompetent, tiny-handed, mushroom-dicked, racist, sexist, narcissistic, violent, potato-faced, fragile, imbecile fraud of a man-child, pedo who would ill his own son for a chance to uck his daughter, and he sucks at golf. So, your thing about fishing. I bet they suck at fishing. Made me think of that. Okay. Let's see. The one who left their bodies in a water tower, actually oil drums, giant oil drums out in a oil field in Colorado. So even worse than water towers. Oil. Disgusting. Shoved them through these little thief hatches that are like barely big enough. Like one of them had, her lip was almost torn off, and then the other one, locks of hair were on the thief hatch in the top. It's gross. And that was just with the toddlers, the 3-year-old and the 4-year-old. He just made a ditch to put his wife and the pregnant wife in. Oh, I bet NK, Nicole Kessinger, his girlfriend at the time, who I theorized the whole thing was her idea, but that's beside the point. I mean, he's in jail for the rest of his life. He should get the death penalty, but that's beside the point. This woman that's marrying him, I bet Nicole Kessinger is furious. I think it's funny. It's disgusting, though. I don't even know if he'll get conjugal visits, because from what I read, they're not allowed in Wisconsin, but maybe if he's transferred to a different state. I don't know. The woman is 39 years old, and she's from Cleveland, Ohio, and she moved to Wisconsin to be near the Dodge facility. Is it Dodge County prison facility? I'm not even sure. It's probably federal, not county. Not only did she moved her elderly mother with her. But she's a train wreck, obviously. Said they couldn't rule out foul play with Nolan. Oh, with the autopsy, with the second autopsy, for sure. And they also said that they couldn't rule out drowning since they didn't have the lungs, I think. But I'm not sure. I mean, his body wasn't waterlogged, so there's that. He unalived them so he could be with his mistress. Oh, and she's so foul. So sad. Yes, it is the anniversary. Rest in peace, Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico. It's just me annoying her mostly. No, you're fine, Big Hook. I like your annoyance. You're not even a troll. Like, you can aspire to be a troll. I don't think the chat ever comes up for us later. Well, it should when I do my lives on my laptop, which I'll probably do just because I'm more used to it. And I like the bigger screen. This is harder because it's smaller screen. But it's also nice to be able to show you a video, because that's annoying when I'm like trying to do it on my phone and it's all small and at an angle, and then there's the glare. It's ridiculous. And I, don't have the technological know-how to do the split screen thing. I got to figure that out, man. Help, help. I need the YouTube gods to come rescue me. Why has the mom not gave the cops the kid's phone? Yeah, that's a really good question, Phone Auto Talk. And I think it's because she doesn't have to by law, because there hasn't been a crime committed officially according to law enforcement. And so she could surrender it, but she's afraid that they'll tamper with it. So she has offered multiple times in writing through her attorney that they can all sit down and go through the phone together. So yeah, people are trying to spin that like, oh, she's obstructing justice, and she's not. She's not obstructing justice. She's being cautious, and they're trying to use the phone as leverage. Like, let's sit down and look at the phone together. Like, she wants to be present, and then at the same time, we'll supply you with that if you supply us with the neck structure from the autopsy. And they're like, you guys can keep the neck structure from the autopsy. We just want to look at it. We can make a time and a place, and you can be there. Like they've proposed like a specific place, like a Southwest Mississippi Community College or something. Like, they know people. They have it all mapped out. Ben Crump has sent them multiple documents requesting that they make a date where they can look at the neck structure, and they're not getting a response, oddly enough. So yeah, that's the thing with the phone, is that she doesn't trust them, and she's not obligated by law to give it to them. So they're trying to make it look like she's the bad one. She's so bad. As if she doesn't want to know the truth, right? How old was he again? Chris Watts was probably 31 when it happened. And I think Shanann was 34, I think, somewhere around there. Chris might have been 33. He was Jesus's age. Men go nuts when they turn Jesus age. It's a fact. I know that from working in mental health. Men lose it when they turn Jesus age. So he was 33, she was 34, I think. And then Nicole Kessinger I think she was 31. I think she had her 31st birthday when they were screwing around, and they went out to that weird sand dune place where she connected with her grandmother's spirit or something like that. Do you know you're a white woman calling a black man out of his name? Huh? Calling a black man out of his name. Maybe the verbiage isn't what you meant, but yeah, I do know that I'm a white woman, and I do try to just be straightforward about, black and white and other nationalities. It's like, it's okay to be black and white and different nationalities. People who say like, oh, I don't see color. It's like, well, that's just not realistic. I mean, that particular lawyer was so disrespectful and threatening. Oh my God, he's so gross. He's the Trumpster fire one. You slow as hell. Yeah, sometimes I can be, Phone Auto Talk. Are you always super fast? Because if you are, please let me know your tricks. You got a problem with the host. I know, it's like, why do you take your time out of your precious day? Thanks all of you guys for taking time out of your precious day to be here. And, you know, there's so much great stuff on YouTube. It is monumental to me that you would choose to be in my 2-hour long live when there's so many other great things you could be watching. So I appreciate it. I love you guys. You're my fam. Please hit the like button. I have never had nitrous oxide. Do they still give it? They do. They do give nitrous oxide. Yeah. And it's very effective medicinally when you're getting like oral surgery. And I think they put nitrous oxide on me when I had my first cesarean because it was an emergency cesarean. I could be wrong, but it's like they have to keep you like in a twilight kind of while you're getting your cesarean, while you're getting the surgery. They don't want you to be fully knocked out. But with the first one, since I'd been in labor for like 2 days and there was an infection and all these, it was all traumatic and bad, and life-threatening. So when they did the cesarean and got the baby out, as soon as they got the baby out, they just like blasted me with drugs like morphine, and I want to say nitrous oxide, like they put nitrous oxide on my face, and I went completely out, but I was still like cognizant, and I was like, oh my God, they're overdosing me. I totally thought they were killing me. Because there was so much drugs. I could just like feel it. It was crazy. And maybe because I used to have substance abuse problems, and so I kind of have experienced some of them, not morphine, only after surgery. The morphine after surgery is awesome. It does the trick, and it lasts like 24 hours. And then when it wears off, then they put you on a morphine drip, and it's the worst because you're just like in constant pain. And the morphine drip is just a drip. And it's like the placebo effect because it only lets it out like once every 12 times that you're trying to get it. Like you don't know when it's actually releasing it and not releasing it. Jerks. Anyway, back to the chat. The hostess with the mostest declared it a self-serve night. They really lock eyes. Yeah, they do. I won't bore you with pulling out that part of the, maybe I will. Maybe I'll show you that part of the interview real quick because it's funny. And I know right where it is. But I put that in the post. I put the link to the video and I put the minute marker. It's like right at 26 minutes. And it's less than 28 minutes long, so it's just hilarious that he waited until the very end to like get to the most important part. You put booze in the Red Bull. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But it's just funny that they tried to make it look like they were drinking beer, because some of those cans I don't even think are actually in their hands. I think that it's like AI, really, because those pictures that I put side by side where they're, where like Eric is wearing the cross and then not wearing the cross in the same picture. But in the same picture, like they're holding the beers, and then in the same picture, they're not holding the beers. So it's like they're just like putting the AI beer in hand because they were trying to have that theory like, oh, he was just so drunk he drowned. And then people are like, oh my God, you left your drunk friend on an island. And then it was just making Warren and everybody look so bad. They were like, no, he wasn't really, no. And then plus they were probably getting a lot of heat about who provided the alcohol for all these drunk kids. And they're like, what alcohol? No, we're changing our story. Was the interview an attempt to go before another jury because the testimony would affect a local jury? Oh man, Big Hook, you're so smart. Absolutely. Yeah, they're just trying to make it look like they're cooperative and like they're transparent. Yeah. LOL. I wondered what the cart was all about. Oh, the cart. The airplane catering cart, like, because they snuck Trump out of Air Force One in a catering truck. So it's like the catering cart with the fight coming out of it, as if you could fit him in one of those. I just thought it was so cute. And Sherry Jacobus, she's a really smart lady. She worked with Trump for a long time. I want to say like 7 years or more. She was like on the inside track. And then she sued him for, I forget what. I don't think it was sexual harassment, but it might have been. It could have been, you know, he has everybody sign um, the NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements. He has everybody sign those when they start employment with him, but they're so extensive, they're completely illegal. So I know that that's what Jessica Denson sued him for. But now that I think about it, Jessica Denson might have been sexual harassment too. Anyway, Jessica Denson and Sherry Jacobus both used to be really tight with the Trumpster fire, and they both sued him. They're a couple of the only two people that have sued him successfully, other than E. Jean Carroll. So she rocks. And she's in her 80s now. And I hope she gets that $80 million before she passes away. I mean, she's in good health, but you know, he's hoping that she'll pass away and he won't have to pay it to her, and he'd probably still have to pay it like to her estate. I would bet. I bet her lawyers have that all mapped out. New venue could work in their favor for a mistrial. Yeah. Well, I don't think it'll ever go to trial. I think that there's going to be such a it's just going to be preposterous how much evidence there is against them, in my opinion. You know, there's like the flock cameras and the GPSs from the boats and the cars and the cell phones. And yeah, I think their goose is cooked. And I think all this is just like last ditch panic effort. And I think that they would have gotten away with it if not for all the attention. But just this morning, Ben Crump went on record officially requesting that the FBI take over the case. So we'll see what happens with that. Postpartum depression afterwards. I had postpartum depression with that first child, so I've had 4. But I actually had more like a postpartum psychosis. So I'll tell you about it because it's funny. You know, I mentioned how long I'd been in labor and how bad everything was. And then they sent me home with so many meds. Like I was scared. I was taking notes about what I was taking so that I could give it to the EMTs when I overdosed and died. And I'd just be like, read this. And I was so high from all the meds and from all of the, you know, what I'd been through, all the physical trauma and everything, that I'd be writing down what drugs I was taking as I was taking them, and I couldn't even remember if I'd already taken them or not. I'm like, wait, did I just take them and then write it? Or was I going to write it and then take them? Like, it was that bad. And then at one point, my friend came to visit me, and I was in bed because I was a wreck. You know, I'd had this horrible surgery. And I asked her to bring me something, and she was like, where is it? And I said, it's down at the end of that thing that you just walked through to get here. And she was like, the hall? And I was like, yeah, that's it, the hall. So that's one of the funniest stories ever. And then I went to my follow-up appointments, and one of the nurses asked me if I'd been hearing voices, and I was like, yeah. And like, I was embarrassed because I was a mental health professional, but I didn't want to be dishonest. And she was like, well, what are they saying? And I was like, they're saying TV that somebody like, and it's just like all this snow and then like bits and pieces of the news and then it's more channel switching. And she was like, okay, as long as they're not telling you to kill the kid or anything, we're good. So yeah. but yeah, with babies, I think everybody has some degree of postpartum depression. I mean, it's just overwhelming taking care of a little one. I mean, there's a lot of high from it because you got this cute little tiny precious thing. But then, you know, you can't get a shower. So, I mean, maybe you can if you're lucky. It's a lot. You can't go pee hardly ever, and you have to pee all the time. It's just wild trying to take care of a newborn. Especially when you're, you know, I didn't have my first kid till I was 34. And so, you know, it's like an old dog learning new tricks. But I worked as a nanny a lot throughout my life. I mean, I knew how to take care of babies, but I'd never had surgery, and that whole thing just really screwed me up. But I got 4 healthy children. They were all just giant babies because I was a giant baby, like basically all like 10-pound babies. So enough about that. You guys don't need to know all those grisly details. Postpartum depression is real though. Yeah, probably unpaid overtime. Not sure what that's referring to, the unpaid overtime. But let me look at my notes because I know I have a ton of notes. And how long have we been on for? 175 minutes. That's like 1,000 years. Isn't that like over 3 hours? No, we're right about 3 hours. Okay, so I better go fast. So, you know, Caroline with the KKK, she quit yesterday. And Trump put up this post where he mentioned how Caroline's gonna stay home with her beautiful young children. And I'm like, really? Should he be talking about beautiful young children being at this point in the Trumpstein file denial? Like, you might just like want to not be mentioning stuff like that, just as it's not a good look, in my opinion. Let's see. What is this? Fireman rescue. So there's this one photograph. Have you guys seen it? Where from the Nolan Wells case, where this white guy is on the boat and you see his back, and it looks like he's holding a person like this, but you can only see his back. But that's like the classic like fireman dragging rescue hold. And let me see if I can just pull it up for you real quick, in case you haven't seen it. I think I took a screenshot of it. Let's see. But maybe not. Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, but I can just Google it real quick. Let's see. Google let me type in with 2 hands. Nolan Wells case, man on boat. Looking like he's got someone. See if it comes up. Someone in fireman rescue hold. And oh man, I typed in that whole thing, and I did it the wrong way because I typed it into YouTube as opposed to, let's see, select all. It's not giving me that option. I don't want to retype that whole thing. Okay, I know how to do it. If I plug in my mouse, I can grab the whole thing and then plug it into Google. Okay, it's not cooperating at all. I think I give up on all that. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Let's see. So I stepped away for a minute. Now I missed something. So yeah, the fireman hold. I probably have it on my phone screenshot, and it's. I think it's worth trying to pull it up. Let's see. Nolan Wells case. Man on boat. Looks like he's got someone in fireman rescue hold. If it doesn't come up, then we'll just give up. But let's see. Did it? Yes, it did. It brought it right up. Look at that. See if I can get an image that's less grainy than the rest of them. Okay, have you guys seen this? So Keith Ellerby posted this on Facebook, I think. And let me blow it up. And blow it up some more. Flop camera, that's not what I want. There we go. So that guy looks like he could possibly have somebody darker skin than him. Like that could be a forearm. It looks like he's got somebody in the fireman rescue hold, but who knows? It could be anything. That's the problem with these grainy photographs far away. It's just interesting. I think it's something very interesting. Man, these storms in Illinois are heavier than I remember as a kid. I'm visiting family. Yeah, we've had the heaviest storms the last few days. It's been nuts, and I love it. But yeah, Ohio's got a lot of flooding now. So I wanted to talk about the boats. Boat number 1, because the boats get really confusing to me. Boat number 1 is the Triton TRX 22 footer. And I think it's the biggest boat. It's Wyatt's boat. That's Wyatt's boat. The Triton TRX 22 footer. Wyatt Pyron. So that's the one that they were saying was sinking, and then Jerry, the grandpa, had called the Coast Guard and said, "Don't take that call. They're fine. They don't need you." So that's the Triton. That's boat number 1 in the report from the Coast Guard. Boat number 2 in the report is called Frontier Bay, and that boat belongs to Bart Edmiston Jr. And then boat number 3 is the Palm Beach, and it belongs to Warren Hudson. And then there is the 4th boat that they refer to as Boat X. Like they have a picture of it where they have the number on each one in that report from the Coast Guard. And that boat, it's a Bear Tran is the type of boat, and it has a blue top. So the blue-topped Bear Tran is the one that went speeding away at a very fast pace at about 5 o'clock at night. And I don't know if it might belong to Morgan or to Jax, and I don't know who was on that boat, but that Beartran with the blue top, the fact that it sped away at 5 o'clock is very curious. And the fact that it's just like boat X, it's not like listed as like boat number 4. Why not? And like the authorities know who owns the boat, but they're not letting that be public. Why? There's something there, right? So, uh-oh. Yeah, the puppy dog's trying to get in. Bart's attorney, whose last name is Latino, he said, I watched this in a video, he said very distinctly that the boat, the Triton that was sinking, that was bringing on the water, that was having the bilge pump problems, and Bart rescued them. Bart's attorney, Mr. Latino, said that they were still on the beach of Horn Island when he provided the assistance, unequivocally. So that doesn't fit with the whole story that they're still floating. They need to get Bart's attorney to say he misspoke, or they need to change their story again, one of the two, right? So they were saying that there was hundreds of boats out there, hundreds of people, and then thousands, I think. Then it turned into thousands. But, you know, they won't say which boat Nolan was on when, like they kind of treat Nolan like he's a hot potato. Like they don't want to have any of those boats be attached to Nolan. So I don't think we even know clearly which boat he went out to the island on. I could be wrong about that. But they really treat him like a hot potato. Like, we don't know what boat he touched. Which they should just say he touched all the boats, so in case his DNA is anywhere, then they can just say, well, yeah, that's because Nolan kept touching all the boats, right? And what else? I was going to Google CETO for some reason for you guys and read it to you, but my brain isn't functioning to know why I was doing that. Oh, I know, because I was just going to read what Google says about the whole thing, because it's funny. I just had to keep reading to see what I said in my notes. So here we go. I'm just going to Google CETO Coast Guard Captain. CETO call Coast. No, just captain. I don't know if he was a captain of the Coast Guard or just a captain. So CETO call captain, I think is all I want. Captain. And then the phrase CETO call captain heavily references the viral July 4, 2026 CETO distress call released by Mississippi authorities in the high-profile death investigation of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. If you're looking for information regarding this case or the audio mechanics of the call itself, a comprehensive breakdown is provided below. However, if you're experiencing a current boating emergency, please skip this text and use the direct contact information immediately. The Nolan Wells case call breakdown. In late July 2026, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, MDMR, released audio from a private distress call made at approximately 4 p.m. on July 4th. The call was placed from a 22-foot Triton offshore boat near the western tip of Horn Island, Mississippi, where Nolan Wells was last seen alive, and also where he was found 2 days later. The audio consists of 2 distinct segments, the dispatcher intake and the subsequent transfer to the CATO captain. The dispatcher intake phase, the distress signal, a panicked teenager on board contacts CATO stating, "Our bilge pump stopped working, we're sinking, can you all come please?" Details shared. The caller notes that they're in roughly 31 feet of water and that there are about 7 people on board, all under the age of 21. Declining the Coast Guard. The dispatcher offers to loop in the U.S. Coast Guard for immediate rescue, but the individuals on board decline the emergency agency intervention, requesting a private pump out and tow back to Ocean Springs Harbor instead. The call to the captain, Captain Seth is his name. The transfer, the dispatcher connects the call to a local CATO captain identified as Captain Seth to coordinate the asset deployment. The grandfather's intervention. The CATO captain informs the dispatcher that he has already been in contact with the boat owner's grandfather, Jerry Adkerson. The captain notes that the grandfather reported the teenagers resolved the mechanical issue themselves and, quote, don't need any help right now, end quote. The disconnection. Because the group managed to get the engine running and trim the boat to clear the water, the CATO captain does not deploy, and the call concludes. CATO ultimately did not tow the vessel. Ongoing case controversy and speculation. The release of the specific audio has ignited significant viral interest and legal movement. The audio discrepancy. The teenagers returned to the mainland that evening without Nolan Wells, claiming he chose to stay behind on the island. 2 days later, he washed ashore. It shouldn't say that he washed ashore, I don't think, because they don't know that. They found him at the edge where the water meets the sand. And I don't think it looked like he washed ashore from the descriptions that I've heard. Background audio claims. Internet sleuths claim that enhancing the background audio of the CATO call reveals passengers shouting Nolan's name, asking if he is deceased, and checking his chest while the boat was allegedly sinking. The expert audio review. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump and the Wells family have hired independent audio engineers to analyze the recording to determine if Wells was actually on the boat during the distress call. Ooh. Attorneys for the other teenagers state the viral theories are highly distorted, inaccurate, and defamatory. So, yeah, it's the words of AI, viral interest in legal movement. So would you say viral legal movement? Because that's pretty much what it is. Like, that has accelerated the case a great deal. Let's see, were all the boaters all center console, or did one of them have a cuddy cabin? I don't think any of them had a cabin. I don't believe so. Let's see. My brain is really fading fast. We've been on for so long. I should be trying to wrap this up as quickly as I can. I think that's all from that page. Is there anything on the other page that I want to share? So there's a thing that, again, even though I lived on a boat back in college with my boyfriend for like half of a year, I did not know this because our boat was basically always in the water, whether we were docked at a marina or anchored out in the Puget Sound. But when you have a boat that you say, have at your house, you have on dry land, and then you put it in the water and take your little trip, and then when you pull it back out of the water, there's post-trip maintenance that is usually documented. And according to sources that I looked at online, that the standard boat post-trip maintenance had not been documented for at least one, if not all of these boats, boat number 1, 2, 3, and X. So they're claiming that they have 2 mystery witnesses. This is what a little chicklet teeth Ed, Trumpster fire attorney, is trying to claim. And so is the other guy, Tyler Cox. They're both like, yeah, there's these 2 mystery witnesses who saw Nolan at 6 p.m. on the island, and they know him really well, and they're sure it was him. And yeah, they know each other, and yeah, they know the accused, but I don't think they're friends with the accused because they're not even the same age. So, but they're not willing to identify themselves as the witnesses that are, if there are actually 2 people that are saying that they saw him. It's really bizarre. And then somebody named Matthew Lamp, I had not heard this. I just found this today. He gave an official statement to law enforcement saying that he saw Nolan arguing with somebody on Horn Island right around 3 o'clock, I think. And Warren has said that Nolan has never been in an argument. Never. He just doesn't do that. That's just not his thing. Let's see. So there's viral rumors that there was a boat being cleaned at Judge Ashley Cole's house at 3 a.m. on July 5th. So these are just rumors that allegedly got started by local people or person saying that they happened to be driving by Judge Ashley Cole's house at 3 a.m. and saw somebody cleaning a boat. But I don't think they identified which one. But they deny, Judge Ashley Cole and her family, they all deny that there was a boat being cleaned at her house at 3 a.m. And Warren called the Coast Guard after he called Christine on the night of the 4th. He called her, I think, shortly after 11, right around 11. And then after they got off the phone, he called the Coast Guard for 21 minutes. He was only on the phone with Christine for 6 minutes. But then he was on the call with the Coast Guard for 21 minutes. I found that interesting. And I think that's about it. Is there anything here? I think we should wrap up. I think I've been on for like 200 minutes. It says, yeah, 198 minutes. Okay, I better say goodnight, you guys. I never document boat maintenance. Yeah, I mean, we documented our boat maintenance when we would dry dock and work on the boat. But yeah, we didn't do the thing where you slip it into the water and pull it out of the water. But good to know. Thank you, Josh. Let's see. Were the boats... Okay, we read that one. It just doesn't make sense. Well, I think because it's all a pack of lies. And so the crazy theory that those boys did something to harm Nolan really seems like it's not a crazy theory, because it all, you connect the dots, and I mean, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. And again, a lot of people have said again and again, if you turn the situation around and you have a group of black guys that go out to an island with a white guy and they all come home, but the white guy shows up dead a couple of days later, that every single one of those black guys is going to get arrested and interrogated. And yeah, no-brainer. But if they're white guys and their stepmommy is a circuit court judge or whatever she is, Ashley Cole, and their daddies are all rich doctors, and one of their daddies is really good friends with the DA, and Bart Edmonston's mother and father are really good friends with the governor, allegedly, it looks like. So maybe that's the picture I'll use for my thumbnail for this, is the picture of Bart's mommy and daddy flanking the governor of the state of Mississippi, because that's a really good picture. They look really cozy. They look like they know each other really well, and they all just look so happy to be in each other's company. So again, especially since the governor inserted himself into the case and said, I don't really know anything about it, but I certainly know it doesn't look like any foul play. And I don't know when the president's going to get involved and say the same thing, basically. So, all right, you guys, peace out. I have to wrap up before I hit 200 minutes. Oh, I already did. I hit 200. Okay, dang. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good night. Sleep tight and drink your water. Eat your protein. Thanks a million. See you soon.